Line up, you f***ing nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line. We are live. A beautiful Monday night. Feeling fantastic. Finch, man, you're in the house. AJ right here with, you know what? Babyface McGee. It is what it is.
Babyface assassin. AJ DeVito. AJ, where'd that fucking beard go?
During the fight companion, I said, let's throw it down. We had a popping stream. I said before the Ankalaev fight, I'd go full doggy if we had 1,000 likes. We blew past it. And then I said, hey, if we hit the subscriber goal, I'll bet my beard. And we hit it easily. I bet my beard on Ankh, and Pereira knocked him out quick. And I shaved on stream. And Babyface Jay is with you guys for a little bit. But you know what? I like being clean shaven every so often to remind myself I still look youthful. The jawline is still there. You know, I feel good. I feel good with the baby face.
Yeah, I always think clean shaven is the way to go. First of all, I think the females appreciate it. Like, even if they don't tell you they appreciate it, like, ain't no girl trying to kiss no scraggly ass beard. I don't, you know.
My beard is smooth and silky though when I got it. It's nice.
Yeah,
when you meet me in person, you can grab a feel of it, you know.
She's trying to work her way through that. So I think it's a good thing. And then, you know, yeah, you don't have like an absent jaw or something, you know. You got nothing to hide. Like, people think you're bald. Why? Because you wear a hat. Like, it doesn't mean he's fucking bald, guys, you know. So no. AJ can go no hat, no beard, and rock it. However, Ankalaev got his shit rocked. That's who really got fun.
Let's talk some Ankh.
Bro, pissed off Poatan is an unlocked character, dog. Like, pissed off Poatan is the one where you get towards the end of Mortal Kombat and you could only see the outline of the fucking character. He's got the thing on his head, you know. He came out there and smoked Ankalaev.
He destroyed Ankalaev. He made it look so easy. And I have to say, I think that Poatan still has it, and I will eat my bullshit right now. You guys can shit on me in chat. I'll take it on the chin. You can see it now. Dude, I really how do I word this? I did not expect him at 38 to come out and look better than he's looked in a while. But then it really pushes the question to me, okay, he really is one of the Hall of Fame greats. Like, Alex Pereira is a different animal. We used to talk shit, you know, all the wrestling defense to this, to that. In any era, Alex Pereira is a problem for the entire UFC middleweight, light heavyweight division for sure. And I think that him winning is bigger and better for the sport. And Finch, let me ask you this, watching the event. I said it during the prelims. I said, man, I feel like we're back in the golden era. I felt like we were 10 years back. The card just had such a nice feel. And then seeing how it ended, this is good momentum rolling into the final stage of 2025 and then into the Paramount deal 2026. I think massive fights coming. I really think the UFC is going to reach an all-time high. It felt like we were in another dwindle point because, unfortunately, Dana White was tied up with the boxing promotion. He was focused on Canelo Crawford. I mean, we went like 6 weeks without a numbered event. And it's, you know, as good as fight nights can be. I love a good fight night. Nothing compares to world titles on the line and the biggest and most popular and the most baddest fighters in the world throwing down in the octagon.
Of course. I mean, Yuri Prohaska and Khalil Roundtree was insane. You had some great fights all the way through the card. And then, you know, Merab and Sandhagen go 5 rounds. And it's a fun one. I was going to say competitive. Not really. Merab kind of out wrestled him. But and then the main event, you just get a fucking Poatan bringing the cannon. He's done it before, man. He closes a show like that, you know. So it definitely left you with a good feeling leaving that pay-per-view. You know, I bought it at home too, and you know, that didn't feel bad, especially knowing like, damn, I'm not gonna have to buy pay-per-views in a couple months. This is crazy, you know. But they want how much for this fucking HD? But Yeah, it was worth it. I would say it was a fantastic event, and it's good to have Dana White's attention back on the UFC. But I don't know how much to rely on that. He's really going in on the Zuffa boxing thing. He's talking about changing the boxing game. I think the UFC needs to find a way to thrive with a part-time Dana, and I think it will. I think this is still the best sport, and. Yeah, I mean, I was just traveling around today for Lights Out. You saw I sent you me and Padilla.
Yeah, I like Padilla. He knows me, bro. We met in person. Me and Padilla. Really cool. I like Padilla.
Ran a great practice. Just a really good dude. And I'm gonna steal one of his drills I liked. And I was going to a couple different gyms, and it blows my fucking mind, right? How big the classes are in these gyms, how many MMA gyms there are around here. The sport is it's booming. And so, yeah, the future is very fucking bright. Dana half in, half out of boxing or whatever. The future's bright.
Agreed, man. We got some donos to read off. Chris Hayes, thank you for wanting that. MMA Guru said to DM him to team up for commentary. He actually DM'd me, and I said yes. So for the Vancouver card, AJ is the Dean Thomas on his live stream. He's going to be with a couple others, Lucas Tracy, Bedtime, and then I'll be doing little call-ins. I'll still be streaming here, but that's also a monumental event, and I'm happy to be a small part of it. And the analyst role for me, I think, is perfect. Give me a call-in. We'll talk about some specific matchups and whatnot during the event. And I appreciate Guru for giving me the love, man. Guru has always been very respectful and complimentary.
And jumps in.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm looking forward to it.
And drops in. Fuck yeah, dude. That's going to be awesome. I mean, yeah, I saw his announcement with Lucas Tracy.
Yeah.
And very cool. Awesome, dude. I'll have to catch that.
Hell yeah. I'm excited to be a part of it, man. Good Paku, shit. Thank you for the big 2. I took the Brahimaj finish only prop. Good call. Hey, new show that I'm doing, Finch. If you don't know, Thursdays, I'd always do my late night live, but now Thursdays, I'm starting a brand new show called Propaholics. I'm talking every single fight on the card, and we are going to deep dive and dig to find the value on the lines. All right. Prop betting is the main focus. We're looking all the way through. By Thursday, every prop should be available. I'm going deep. The show last week, my pilot episode was 2 hours, 23 minutes of just me going in depth. We also, chat it up with the live stream and throw polls in. So it's got a good flair to it. Jersey Girl and I working on the thumbnail. I got something cooking up for it that's going to be spectacular. It's not just going to be bland. I'm cooking up something special. I think you guys are going to love Propaholics. The official episode 1 is this Thursday, but you got an idea of what it's going to look like with last week's pilot episode. So
Perfect name, Propaholics.
Propaholics, man.
Right now. Hey, Guru's in the chat. Let's bring him up.
Hey, MMA Guru, thank you for the $10. A formal invitation for you. Call it in as Dean Thomas now and then during the live stream trio. Wait, you're acknowledging now. Let's go. Yes, Guru, I'm in. I DM'd you back on Instagram. Chat's saying stuff here as I'm finishing graphics. And then next thing you know, they're saying Guru's DMing. He wants you to join. I'm thinking they meant the call. Then I see he sent me a message an hour. I'm like, damn, I missed a big chance. But I understood what you were talking about. I was nervous at first that I was going to miss and strike out. But yes, I'm in for the Vancouver card. I'll be the Dean Thomas for you guys. I'll be better than Dean. I'm going to have more precise takes than he does. All right.
I was going to say, you're going to call in and say that Yuri Prochazka is about to get knocked out. Is that what you're going to tell?
Yeah, I'm going to say crazy shit. Crazy shit. Thank you for the 10. And Guru, thank you for the big chance, bro. All love, man.
Let's go, Guru. Fuck yeah.
That's fantastic.
Go, guys.
Michael Bowman up in here with the $50, man. From a hospital bed near you, I am here. Mrs. Bowman says hi. Hello to her. Hello to you. I should be back as a regular soon. Love you guys. Have a great show. We've been wondering where you at. We miss you, Bowman. We're very happy to hear that you're doing all right. I'm disappointed you're in the hospital, but hope for a speedy recovery and then back on business. It's good to hear from the OG. Bowman's been around forever. If you guys don't know, he's been watching since we were in the early days of this show, man.
Let's go, Bowman. Get your ass out of that hospital, Bowman. I want you running wind sprints up the street. I want you. Who was that coach Hamzat hired out here? We got to get him for you, Mike Bowman. Let's get you back home and healthy, man. And hello, Mrs. Bowman. Appreciate you always tuning in. If we could provide a little bit of entertainment, that's great, Mike. I don't know if you've been betting on the fights, Mike. We just cashed plus 250 Ramiz Brahimaj. So I'm out here celebrating, Mike. I'm burnt. I've been outside just enjoying my damn weekend, okay? Rest up, Mike Bowman.
Mike Bowman, much love. Guru, to answer you here. You've been doing the companions for a minute now. I had to bring you in, lad. Thank you, lad. I appreciate it. I'll go British slang right back at you. It's all love, man.
Guru, consistent. Hey. I've tried to get his ass out to live events. I'm like, dude, I'll get you tickets to Bellator. We'll get you cage side. AJ's like, I got to host my live. So my man is religious with it. So big respect, AJ.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Guru. I look forward to chopping it up officially, man. Before 100K, too. I'm glad to see it. Thank you, brother. And then PG Gill up in here. Thank you for the 279. Betting Ankalaev was smart. Alex is just different. I can't say in hindsight it was smart. I feel like a fucking moron taking that fat L.
I see what he means. Like you trickling that info to me all the way up, right? You're like, yo, Poatan's cutting from big weight. He's over 25 pounds over, right? Hey, he said doesn't want to fight as frequently. You know, you would give me these little tidbits where I'm like, I saw you had some logical takes, so I get what Gil is saying.
Yeah, thank you, PG. I guess thank you for giving me some love on my logic. Listen. I have a very logical and precise analysis, right? But not perfect, because there is no perfect analysis in a combat sport, specifically this fight game of MMA where 4-ounce gloves are on and almost anything you can do is legal outside from some nut shots, hair pulling, eye gouging, and headbutting.
You could kick Poatan in the nuts. He's going to sweep it off. He's going to tell the ref to get the fuck out of the way, and then he's going to bang the left hook. I mean, let's talk about it now, AJ. The difference in this fight was Poatan put the car in drive.
Yes.
He did not sit at the end of the shots. He didn't hang out in that green zone and try to round win and just have moments against Ankalaev. He came out there the same exact way he was sparring. You know, my buddy Kevin's like, look, he looks like emotional sparring. Like, why is he angry? He came out there with a fucking chip on his shoulder. And it was that forward pressure that allowed him to put that big right hand on Ankalaev and get Ankalaev to kind of just turtle up and wait for the referee to step in. I mean, obviously Poatan has insane power, but I think it was that forward pressure and that, you know, ability to start the fight fast that put all that together for him. It was a strategic change that worked perfectly.
Agreed. The pressure from the start, I was like, damn, Poatan's coming out fast. And that's how you break in Ankalaev. You put it on him and you catch him with a big punch. Perfect right hand. Ankalaev badly hurt, tries to shoot, ends up under Alex Pereira and getting pounded on. I had no issue with the stoppage. He's turning away. Like Ankalaev was like, I'm done. Stop this fight. He didn't protest the stoppage. He was badly hurt. And I think Alex Pereira's win just brought us to a new all-time high. We were talking about it beforehand. We were saying that if Pereira loses, there's still great opportunities at heavyweight. But I'm like, imagine he wins.
This is better.
And this is way better. Jon Jones super fight at the White House. I don't give a shit about world titles. I care about super fight. Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira is the biggest fight the UFC can make right now. As big as the Tom Aspinall heavyweight championship fight would have been between Jones and him, I think that Pereira's superstardom and his light heavyweight belt. Listen, they could do it at light heavyweight. Can Jones make 205?
Probably.
There's some crazy things.
You didn't even have to do that. Just do a super fight with Jones. But here's the thing, AJ. It doesn't line up with the White House card. I think do that fight first. Jon Jones was saying he wanted that fight the whole time, AJ. Let's do that fight first. And then if Jon gets through that, he gets the champ. Aspinall. He gets Aspinall. Thank you. At the White House. I think that makes sense. By the way, how fantastic is Carlos Ulberg versus Poatan?
It's a great fight.
It's fantastic.
It's a great matchup, but it's not the matchup they're going to do.
No?
The reason being is when you have the star in your hand, there's just too much power with a Pereira-Jones matchup. As much as a risk could go, right? Can you imagine this?
That motherfucker.
Can you imagine this? The Ulberg fight happens and Poatan lost. I'm not saying he's going to lose. He can probably catch an Ulberg. He could beat an Ulberg. Ulberg's very good, but that's a fight.
Yeah.
The Jon Jones fight is the one that Jones wanted initially, but the stipulation was, well, you can't fight Alex Pereira for the heavyweight belt. The interim champ, Tom Aspinall, is next. So, okay, here's my belt. Take it. I don't care about the belt. I want Alex Pereira. I don't think the ducking narrative around Aspinall, with Jones is going to be that big of a deal when they see the dotted line, Poatan versus Jones, I think people will forget. They'll be like, we'll think about this later, and they'll be focused on the Pereira fight. Now, I'll also give you another caveat. If somehow Ciryl Gane wins against Tom Aspinall, even more of a clear path for Jones to get the Pereira fight.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably not going to happen, right? To leak a pick, that's probably not going to happen. But I see what you're saying 100%. However, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're about to book Carlos Ulberg versus Poatan. I think that's more likely. I think the idea of giving John a shot back in the UFC seems off the table at this point.
I don't know. His brother tragically passed away last week. Rest in peace.
That was
could bring him
beautiful
new motivation,
huh? With the moment of silence.
Yeah, because he was planning a call out of John Jones. Instead, he goes the moment of silence.
Yeah.
Poatan and Jones, man. It feels like once in a lifetime event, doesn't it? Come on.
It's sick.
That's huge. I hope that it can come together. Of course, some variables in the way. John Jones, who knows where he's at right now. And then obviously with Poatan, he's a light heavyweight champ. There are contenders, specifically Prochazka, Ulberg, probably Ulberg standing out because it's a new face. But listen, Prochazka with the comeback KO of Roundtree. The UFC loves giving Yuri Prochazka big fights. Why wouldn't they? He's must-see TV. Shit, Pereira could beat him 5 times. And Prochazka,
I'll watch every time.
We'll watch every time, right?
He already beat him 3 times. I know you're going to say 2, but he knocked him out twice.
He knocked him out twice, yeah.
Bro.
Oh, true.
So, I've seen it. I've seen Yuri and Poatan. It's got to be Poatan and Ulberg, or obviously you run Poatan and John Jones, AJ, or if it's Poatan and fucking Tom Aspinall. Either way, it's a great outcome for fans and for the UFC. I haven't seen one person upset that Magomed Ankalaev lost the belt. You heard him getting booed, when he was walking out, when they were announcing his name. So I think this is great.
It's great. Where does Ankalaev go from here, though?
He's
Yuri.
still
A contender. Him and Yuri go after it?
Yeah, they got beef, bro. Yuri was fucking calling him out, Yuri was saying it even afterwards, too, Let him run it.
Him and Yuri's a good fight as well. I don't know when Ankalaev's going to want to turn around after a loss like this. He might go into hiding for 6 months.
Oh, he's going to be like, I deserve an instant rematch.
Yeah.
You know him. Remember,
does he deserve an instant rematch after getting knocked out in a minute 40 seconds? No, you can't.
No way.
But
I'm just saying, based on the way he acted before, remember with the draw, he's I should be the champ. I'm just going to retire, whatever the fuck he was saying. So, and you know what? You know who the biggest, the most satisfying W in this whole thing is? Magomed Ankalaev's coach, who said that Poatan didn't have knockout power.
It's a bad look now.
You
age
set
like
yourself
shit.
up, bro.
Jokes on him.
Up. Yeah, exactly. You dunked on yourself, buddy.
Ank showed a video of him having broken ribs 20 days before the fight. Is that true? That's interesting.
There's one more broken one from that fucking 12-6 he hit him with.
Yeah.
He added one more broken rib to that set.
Yeah, Jesus. Alex Pereira, he's a behemoth, and good things coming for him. I think a massive fight. Now's the time. He's 38. John's up there in age too. If they fight each other, it's the right fight to make.
Run it.
Definitely light heavyweight division. And the UFC as a whole, like, is back on fire with Poatan as champ. There's just, when Poatan is the champion, the sport is just better. As good as Magomed Ankalaev is, he's very talented. A Poatan main event moves the needle differently.
Who doesn't want to go?
Right.
If Poatan was coming to your city, like, come on, man.
You're
going to see a dope fight. Yeah,
I would be the only person that wouldn't go because
I'd be like, AJ, I have cage side tickets. He'd be like, I gotta host the Fight Companion, dude. AJ, what the fuck are you talking about? I gotta host the Fight Companion. AJ, have somebody else host the goddamn Fight Companion. You had me do it once.
I did. Yeah, I liked having you do it.
That was fun. That was fun.
You did a good job.
The other thing people are saying is they want Poatan to go try to challenge for a 3rd title.
Him versus Tom Aspinall or Ciryl Gane, but him versus Aspinall makes more sense. Probably Zach.
Even Ciryl Gane's a better fight.
Him and Sorogan's a cool fight.
Him
I
and
think that, listen, he
beat
could knock
Sorogan.
Tom Aspinall out, though. I'll tell you.
Stop.
He could knock Tommy Boy out.
Stop.
People are not recognizing Tom Aspinall has one tell, man.
Stop.
Comes up like this.
There's
that little I've seen it, just a little. He's so fast, he's so powerful that like it hasn't mattered, you know.
Facts.
But a Poatan could land a death punch even against a big boy like Aspinall. That'd be a sick fight.
Sure. But you know, Tom also he's on the balls of his feet. So when he explodes in, he's kind of doing it on his own time. He's not one of those dudes who just kind of plods forward. Who's the first girl fight of the night? She like walked fucking.
Oh, you're talking about I don't even want to think about this fight. Brogan Walker?
No. Of this next one, Polastri, is that her name? She fucking just walked Lupe Godinez down in that last fight. Remember, Lupe Godinez was like, "I got a shit" or whatever in between rounds.
Yeah.
They're like, "You're in a UFC fight. What do you mean you can't poop?" You know? So she gets walked down. Like if you do that, like, you know, you're gonna get caught standing upright. But Tom Aspinall, he's on the balls of his feet and he explodes in on his own time. So you have to time him really well. There's a lot of problems. I think you take Poatan down. Honestly, John Jones too. Like, what is, you know, John might stomp on his knees a little bit and you know, be able to fight a little bit of range. John Jones having those fucking hands in your face, dude. The John Jones fight's the one. Let's stop fucking around. Let's make the John Jones fight happen. Yeah. Dana, please get in that fucking office and let's see John Jones versus Poatan. Quit playing with me.
Agreed. Great main event. Let's talk the co-main event. More dominance from Merab. Sandhagen in round number 1, he was looking sharp, though. He had some moments. His striking was looking good. It was touching Merab. Got taken down a little bit, but still, I gave him the first round. Didn't give him another round. Nearly knocked out in the second. Merab was all over him. It was a typical Merab mauling, and he beats Corey Sandhagen. And my God, he's taken out all the top guys. Now he's running circles around. Petr Yan rematch is on the table. Umar fighting Mario Batista. If Mario Batista does pull off the upset in that fight, Mario Batista next would be cool. Merab wants to get one in before the year's end. When I hear that, I think, Petr Yan, that seems like a doable rematch. And I think it's interesting, right? Petr Yan, does he change the result? No, I think it goes similarly to the first time. But I feel like him versus Yan 2 is on the table. Now, obviously, the Pantoja fight would be sick. We're waiting on a Pantoja Van announcement. That hasn't been announced yet. I'm not going to bet money on the chance of a Merab versus Pantoja fight. But I certainly wouldn't be opposed to Merab versus Pantoja to close out the year. If the UFC could put that together for December, I'm all in. More likely is Yan. But I do think Pantoja and him could work out. That could be a timeline of a fight. It's just the Joshua Van fight. They already stared each other off inside the octagon. When they do that, right, it almost feels as though that secures the next matchup.
Yeah,
granted, Corey and Patty did it too, though, and they don't seem to be fighting next. I don't know.
No, Joshua Van, that's sick. You know, the Pantoja one is interesting, but it's like Merab's ragdolling all these fucking, you know, bantamweights, and now you're gonna give him, you know. I just feel like he's just too much for a Pantoja, man. You know, Pantoja can't wrestle with him as it is, and then you got the size. I feel like that's too wide. So I would just be down to see, let's just see him keep going through the division, you know. I love the Van matchup, actually. That's sick. Like I just like to see new fights, you know. Yeah. Like don't how the fuck when they do the fan polling, I'm back to Poatan. How the fuck when they do the fan polling, is it even Yuri and Olberg? What do you mean? We've seen Yuri and Poatan so many times. Let's see what Olberg can do. You know, more rangy. He just showed you his knockout power. It's like, come on, man, that would be way better. So I'm just a much bigger fan of seeing the new matchup. And same thing with Merab here. Let's see him keep going through the division. Give him the young blood.
Let's go. Shout out to Jared Nunes for $19.99. What's up, guys? Excited for the show. Appreciate all the hard work every week. Thank you, my brother. We appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. Yes, sir. I'm going to be dropping the bets again tonight. AJ live every fucking day. You know what it is.
Kevin Albasri, thank you for $4.99. Oh, shoot, AJ Shave. Thought you were urban? What does that mean? What does it mean? Thought you were
a dag, bro. He thought you were a dag.
Oh, shit.
quickly, Kevin, AJ had to shave. He put the fucking beard on the line with Ankalaev, okay? He went all the way in, brother. Ankalaev got chinned and AJ got bearded.
I got chin too. The beard came clean off. Jesus. Thank you for $4.99, Kevin. Appreciate you, bro. I am feeling excited to talk about this card, Finch, but we got a little more we got to discuss.
We got to hit Ramiz. I got to dunk on fucking Vanderford, bro.
Well, we got to go Prochazka Roundtree real quick. Talk about a comeback. Listen,
of course.
Talk about a comeback. Prochazka was getting outgunned in 1 and 2. Roundtree looked good.
Yeah.
Roundtree's technicality in the first 2 rounds was carrying. Prochazka is the untamed animal. Keeps coming. Keeps coming. Keeps coming. Keeps coming. Roundtree wilted. The pressure got to him. He was tired round 3. Prochazka hits him with some shots. Roundtree starts running. You know when I know it's trouble for a fighter? When you see him run like that. When you see him run, when they dip like this and they're kind of like this and they're trying to run away, I say, oh, fuck. And then Prochazka lays him out clean with the left hook. Violent KO. And the definition of a Yuri Prochazka fight.
Yeah.
He's in it all the way through.
Yeah.
Until he's out cold, Yuri Prochazka's in the fight. Winning a decision against Prochazka, that's fucking scary business. Good luck. Really sick comeback.
First couple rounds, I'm thinking like, damn, Yuri doesn't look good tonight. You hear in the commentary keep dunking on the way his foot was slipping around a little bit and not finding his footing. I'm just like, okay, he's can't quite find his timing on Khalil tonight. And then, by the time the 3rd round rolled around, it's like the fight was exactly as we described it. I said that Khalil Roundtree is much more of bread and butter, right? Bread and butter, Muay Thai. He's going to be standing in front of you. He's going to parry your jab. He's going to fucking fire to 1, the low kick. It's basic shit, but you kind of always know where he's at, and he's not that hard to predict. As to where Yuri Prochazka, he's that side dish you didn't know your buddy ordered. Fajitas. You know what I mean? You're just like, what the fuck? He throws like a low kick and a right hand and then a power jab, and he like steps into it and just catches your Khalil Roundtree in the face. He is just so obnoxious in the way that he fights that you can't quite prepare for him. There's nobody who throws like that. There's nobody who can really quite give you that in sparring. Maybe Johnny Walker. It's just like you got to find people who are sporadic, who are different, who don't subscribe to a set system, whose maybe system is unpredictability. Actually, it is programmed in, right? A little bit of a wild card. And that's what you're going to get from a Yuri Prochazka. I think it's just like up to, Poetans can be patient as well. That's how he fought Yuri, and then just finds a shot, just sets him up for a shot. I think the problem with Khalil Roundtree was he never really set him up for that shot. He can win rounds against Yuri, but he could never quite set that big knockout shot up on Yuri, as to where Yuri was able to find that when he got Khalil Roundtree just a little tired, just a little more stationary. He could just fucking put him away. It's really impressive. It's really fucking fun to watch. And he's another guy. You see Yuri Prochazka's on a card, you go, I'm going to have a good night.
Yeah. No, you're going to have a good night when Yuri's on a card. It's always a special showcase. I still think it's far-fetched to say he should fight for the belt. I like that Olberg said he'd fight Yuri. Yuri versus Olberg is a cool matchup. And that could be, a top contender fight, especially if our dream comes to reality and John Jones makes it happen going up. We'll see.
That would be cool. Yeah. That would be really cool. Man, Carlos Olberg, that's a tough matchup for Yuri. But the Khalil Roundtree one was a tough one too. He was down 2 rounds, right?
Yeah.
Everybody had him down 2 rounds. But Yuri's a fucking wild man. I don't see Yuri touching the belt, but I see him touching fans' hearts. He is special.
He is. I do see what you're saying. He's going to touch fans' hearts, but world title, he was a champion. He had that go. He was a champion. It's awesome. Not again. Not a second time. I don't see it either. Yeah. It's unlikely that he would get a belt.
Yeah. Light heavyweights are getting a little bit good now, Yeah. I feel like the light heavyweight division actually is finally a little bit impressive, Yeah. Ankalaev, Poetan, Olberg, Yuri. I mean, I feel like there's some talent at 205, and I'm here for it.
Let's go. I know you want to dunk with the Brahimaj.
Just really quick.
Real quick.
Let's come on, folks. How the fuck did Vegas let us rob them? How did they let us rob them? Austin Vanderford sells dick pics for a living, okay? He doesn't fight that often. We've already seen him get outstruck in Bellator. I was about 10 feet away from him getting outstruck by Aaron Jeffries. I saw his crazy fans he had out there. I mean, I broke this one down for you guys. Ramiz Brahimaj is better at 2 out of 3 areas. And you saw Austin Vanderford able to get, a takedown or two and try to hold a little bit. But anytime he started to get something going, Ramiz Brahimaj was threatening chokes, popping back up to on his feet, blasted him with a fucking head kick, put a right hand on him, found his neck. It was a vicious finish. I never thought it should be plus 250. When I was just going through the card, making my predictions, I did, Ramiz Brahimaj, via submission. And then when I went back to see the odds, I was blown away. Obvious dog of the week. I started dog of the week last week, 2 for 2 on dogs of the week. So fucking tune in. Mike Finch Show, DM at Mike Finch Show on Instagram. Coming premium channel. I think it was a clear misprice by Vegas. Sometimes underdogs just win. I mean, this is MMA, right? Sometimes underdogs just win. But there was no point when I was watching that fight where I was like, I made the wrong choice. Ramiz Brahimaj isn't better. I was just like, all right, let's see a little more. Let's see a little more. And the more the fight happened, you eventually saw, right? Ramiz Brahimaj is faster, more explosive, hungrier. He wants it. And he got the kill.
Brahimaj wanted it. He broke Vanderford, hurt him bad, puts it on him. I was thoroughly impressed with Brahimaj, who's now won 3 fights in a row. And I think him versus Punahele Soriano, who's also 3-0 in the welterweight division now. It's kind of a perfect fight. Both guys fought on this card. I think it lines up maybe early next year, something like that. And I think Brahimaj could beat a Punahele Soriano too. So I think Brahimaj is kind of coming together nicely, man.
Yeah. I like Soriano and Brahimaj. That's a fun fight, actually. Yeah,
matchmaker extraordinaire. Hey.
AJ back at it. Goddamn. That's his best thing. I hope you get that job someday. UFC matchmaker, AJ DeVito.
I mean, listen, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that the UFC one day, after all the years of doing this, says, fuck, man, who knows it more inside out than the guy watching every fight, every week, watching tape. Like, if there's anybody to bring in to do matchmaking, it would be the guy doing this. But I'm happy to be here, bro.
You get the compelling matchups fans want to see too. Like boxing does a bad job of this generally, especially historically, just making a bunch of lame matchups all the time. You get it. You got your finger on the pulse. So it makes sense for you. Yeah. Hey, just had to blast that one out there. Edmund Shabazian smokes Andre Muniz. That one was nice.
First round KO call.
Yeah. I mean, the whole card was
got chinned by Santos, fatty cat. Can we talk about this? He fucking calls, hey, I can't make weight. Let's do it at 152. Screws you over, man. Man, Santos is a gamer, but my God, him and Kelvin Gastelum got the same eating habits, bro. Why is it he has a gut? He's got skills. Listen, Willie Cat's good. I never said Willie Cat didn't have skills, but he's undisciplined, man. He's talented. But what the fuck, bro? He's a 35er and he can't make 45. What are we doing here? Jesus.
Moving up to light heavyweight next, dog. He's fast. Move up to light heavyweight. Fast hand. And you know what Yu's thing was? He tried to repeat his old performance. Like, you see this happen all the time. You see this happen all the fucking time. I see it constantly. Have even done it like in like high school wrestling. I hit one. What was it? Like a headlock. Yeah, I hit like a headlock. I was, I'm gonna do it again, and then you miss it in the next one. You're like, oh fuck, every matchup's not the same. I can't just repeat the exact same thing that worked for me last time. That's the way humans are, though. We're very mimetic. Even in the time of Shakespeare, the word ate meant both to imitate and primate. There's something naturally sheep-like, lemming-like, herd-like about humans. And so, you goes out there and he tries to find that fucking check hook, and he paid for it, man, because he's leaning back with his head up in the air, thinking that check hook's going to be there again. Santos just blitzed him.
Sick blitz. Hey, I like you versus Ramon Tavares next. All right, let's book that fight. That's a good one. Winnable.
Yeah, he needs a bounce back.
Yeah, needs a big bounce back. Also, Ateba Gatier looked like a monster. Yusuf Zalal with the sensational submission early in round 1. Who does that to Josh Emmett? Really put himself on the map.
Yep.
And then Pfeiffer comes through, loses the first, turns up. Basharat goes out there and wins. And we got to talk this one, Finch. This I want to go.
I couldn't avoid this one. Let me close the laptop, bro. I'm out.
Time to get the hell out. We're walking off. Patchy Mix. Oh, Patchy Mix. Oh, Patchy Mix. Mike Finch.
Yeah, people saying Patchy getting robbed in the comments here. I didn't see that as a robbery, bro.
I thought that he won the decision, but it was too close for comfort.
Really? You scored for Patchy?
I thought he got second and third. Yeah, I did score for him live. Yeah. But like, you know, it is what it is. This is not the Patchy Mix that I thought would be in the UFC. I don't know who the fuck. I don't know. I said this, bro. I got conspiracy theories. Remember Space Jam's plotline? They got abducted by aliens. They took the talent away from the basketball players. I'm telling you, Patchy Mix is looking like that. It's like the Space Jam curse. Somebody took his fucking talent, bro. What in the fuck happened?
Oh,
who is he?
Oh, bro.
Who is he? I don't understand.
I get it. I agree. I agree. He's out there and I'm watching him. I'm like, bro, why is Yuri Prochazka faster than Patchy Mix? I'm like,
doesn't make sense. This is not what I saw in Bellator.
Yeah, I know.
Was he so comfortable in Bellator? Was that all a fluke? Was he the luckiest man in the world? Like, I don't get it. Because at one point, he was a menacing threat to everybody.
Look at who he beat, dude. Rafion Stotts is a solid fucking striker. Patchy Mix knocked him out for $1 million. You know what I mean? Yoji Horiguchi, world-class striking. I mean, he's fought a bunch of good. Sergio Pettis. I mean, you know, there were plenty of good strikers. So it is. I agree. I am also blown away. Like here was a crazy one for me when Patchy Mix was in the butterfly guard of Wicklax and he couldn't pass it, or did he not want to? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, is he just okay with being on top right now and losing the split decision? Like, you know, you would think Patchy, having watched his whole career, the human backpack, is going to want to be like a fucking magnet to that back and want to get to Wicklax's back. But maybe with the matchup, Wicklax is really solid with his jiu-jitsu too. Maybe he just felt like all I need to do is be on top. Then where was the ground and pound? Yeah, there's a lot to say, but I think the Space Jam reference gets to the heart of it.
Doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. He's the biggest bust in UFC history. He's the Kwame Brown of the UFC right now. I mean, shit. It's crazy to see him lose this one. The Mario Batista loss, it was short notice. He wasn't in tip-top shape. It was forgivable, but say what you want, like whatever. I was the fact that it was close enough that they could give it to a Wicklax is maybe Wicklax is the next champ. Maybe Wicklax is the number 3 guy in the world, right? Maybe Mario Batista's number 2 in the world. Wicklax is 3 and Patchy is 4. You know,
stop. Wicklax jumped like 4 fucking guillotines, dude. Like
he almost got it,
bro. No, but okay. Patchy had bailed to his back. Patchy bailed to his back. That's true. I hear you. Yeah, but Patchy's good enough to know to bail to his fucking back at least. You know, some of these guys who tap on top to a guillotine, we've talked about it before. Okay, if you listen to the show long enough, you'll at least get a stripe on your white belt, okay? I break enough shit down where anybody who listens to the show long enough, they're like, if I'm going to guillotine on top, I should roll to my back. Mike Finch said roll to my back. With Wicklax here, he jumped so many guillotines, bro, it should give you the decision. Like when dudes are jumping guillotines on you, you pop your head out, free takedown. Thanks for the takedown. Guess what I have on my side now? Gravity. Sir Isaac Newton's laws of physics. I get to drop all my kinetic energy down on top of your head, bash you with elbows. Where were the elbows? I was rooting for Patchy, bro. I legitimately scored it for Wicklax, 29-28.
That's how it goes, man. Bellator dies. And Patchy Mix 0-2 in the UFC. Finch, I'm glad you're doing something with Lights Out, you know? I'm looking for the next prospect from Lights Out to get into the UFC.
Bellator took over PFL, all right? They didn't do, you know. They're up in this bitch, okay? All right. You seen Archie Colgan last week? You saw fucking, they got some good folks. The Usman Nurmagomedov and Paul Hughes throwing down. There's plenty of talent. Patchy Mix has been from going from debatably the best in the world to losing a split decision to Jacob Wicklax. It's notable.
The tragic downfall, Apache Mix story, unfortunately, man.
Sometimes you got to hit rock bottom to come back up. It's like he really needs to just turn over new leaves, because if he can bring back, the guy who buzzes to the back, the guy who tries to finish fights at all times, the UFC's here for it. They love that style. He's got a fan-friendly style. So far, he's been, sort of like he's fighting like he's on like sleep medication.
Unfortunate. Enough said on that one. I think that's a good way to close it out.
I know I'm gonna get socked next time Patchy sees me, huh? I'm gonna get the fucking flying knee. Sorry, dude. I'm just calling it like I see it, man. I'm calling it like I fucking see it. It's hard to watch him out there. Stuck in the mud almost.
Stuck in the mud. Absolutely. It is what it is. Let's talk this upcoming card. All right. We just recapped 320. I want to talk about what's coming up this Saturday. All right. UFC Rio. Make sure you guys smash the likes. If you're new, subscribe it up. Starting the card off, we have Luan Lacerda versus Simón Oliveira. Two guys winless in their UFC tenures. But I think Lacerda has a bit more upside. I'm going off. Oh, well, listen, he looked all right in the third round against Cody Stamann 2.5 years ago. He hasn't fought in a long time. He's been out 2 years and 4 months. Lost to Damon Blackshear. Prior to that, it was a Cody Stamann loss. Simón Oliveira, we saw him 5 months ago, or rather 6 months ago. He got knocked out bad in the first round by David Martinez. He's been knocked out bad in his past two. He's been inactive. 3 years and 8 months ago was his debut. He lost to Tony Gravely. When I look at skills, I think that Lacerda is a bit better at striking and wrestling. Both guys have good jiu-jitsu, but Lacerda more often, I feel, will end up in top position. Simón Oliveira is striking a bit basic, a little wild, a bit hittable down the center. Not that Lacerda has crisp hands and, precise boxing, but he could catch him with a good right hand. I could see him rocking Oliveira, even catching him with a knee in the tie clinch or an elbow. I think Lacerda has a little more flair to his stand-up, and I think he's the guy that ends up in top position. We got 0-2 versus 0-3. I'll tell you this, Mike Finch. I really feel like the reason they're bringing Simón Oliveira back is because they have a card in Brazil. If not for that, I'm surprised he wasn't released. I'm going Lacerda to win. I think Lacerda has more upside. I think Lacerda has more skills. He's a Nova União prospect. Even though he definitely is a busted prospect. I mean, at one point, he's coming in 12-1 in the UFC. I think he can do a little more. I'm going to go Lacerda. I think he finds a way.
Yeah, Lacerda's takedowns, he like drives through them really well. He's got some fucking tenacity and talent, and his ground game is nasty. And I'm glad he's with Andre Pederneiras. That's a guy to get him ready for the striking chops of Oliveira, who Oliveira's a submission guy too, but he's pretty tight with his stand-up. The problem is there's just no talent there. There's no exceptional ability that Oliveira offers. He'll change stance. He fights well out of the southpaw, but I do see Lacerda being able to do fine with the stand-up. And then on the ground, man, Lacerda is actually impressive. He can get on your back and get you out of there. So let's say Lacerda finishes this fight. He is a pretty confident pick, and two Brazilians, but I think Lacerda is going to be the one showing out.
Interesting, right? Confident pick on 0-2
I know.
UFC fighter.
I know.
Damon Blackshear, good grappler. Cody Stamann, good wrestler. At the time too, Cody Stamann was a little more primed. He's obviously had a hard fall off and is now released. I think Lacerda can win. I think he can also threaten for a finish. Tough to say a finish though. Lacerda's never got a knockout win. Simón Oliveira's chinny, but submission game is his strong suit. I'm gonna go Lacerda. He could get a finish here. I don't think Simone Oliveira is all that, man. I'm going to say this. Looking at the money line, minus 245 for Lacerda, plus 210 for Simone Oliveira. I think that Lacerda is better. I think Lacerda is more deserving of a roster spot. And I think that Simone Oliveira has looked terrible in his past two. Whereas Lacerda, yes, losses, but he's been out for a while. Yes, it's not really a positive thing. He hasn't fought in a bit, but still 2 years younger, and add in he's 3 inches taller, size advantage. I say he can handle maybe a decision though. It's a minus 245 favorite. Oliveira plus 210. You got any prop ideas or anything like that? Or we just
I think Lacerda could get this dude out of there, bro. When you fight in Brazil, first of all, they pack the place early. All right. Yeah. Brazil ain't trying to get there just for the main event. These motherfuckers come in early, and for some reason they're already drunk. And then the second thing is they hype up their guys. So generally in the Brazil cards, I wonder if the stats bear it out. I feel like more fights finish. I could see, Lacerda getting this guy out of there. So I don't know if it's a TKO or a strangle, but I do think he'll finish the fight within 15 minutes.
I like it. Finchman and I both on the same side. We're going to go towards the side of Lacerda to get the hand raised, potentially threaten for the finish. Minus 160 for an inside distance. Not lucrative, but is what it is. Lacerda should get it done. Our picks line up for fight number 1. Let's keep going. Fight number 2, the ladies going after it. Julia Polastri versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. You mentioned Polastri a little bit during the recap portion of the show. I want to let you handle this one and break down the ladies matchup. What are your thoughts on these two girls?
Bro, she was walking down Poopy Pants Godinez and throwing with her. I mean, it was pretty cool. That third round, she was just kind of marching forward, car and drive, standing in front of her, shot for shot. I hit you, and I'm trying to slip. I ain't even going to pull back at any moment, right? That was the real, like, draw the line in the sand type shit. So that Lupe Godinez fight was impressive. She beat Corey McKenna before that, and she's up against a real fucking vet. I mean, Karolina might be 39 years old, but she's fought everybody in the UFC and had a little streak going. 2022 through 2023, beat Vanessa Demopoulos, Diana Belbita, etc. I think you got to go Julia Polastri here, especially since she started, getting that. She showed that she could start defending takedowns against Lupe, and I hold Lupe actually in pretty high esteem. Now, Lupe does like to fuck things up a little bit. Her fight IQ is not tremendous. But Julia Polastri showed me quite a bit in that fight. I think she actually looks impressive against a Karolina Kowalkiewicz, and I think maybe can get her out of there, dude. Karolina, pretty goddamn tough to finish. Tons of decisions. Oh my God, decisions all the way through to 2022 when she strangled Felice Herrig. So, in her last, 5 fights, all decisions. Here's one where Julia Polastri, moving forward, trying to put her away, could actually score a finish in a ladies fight. Give me Julia Polastri running away with this thing.
She's a minus 450 favorite on the line. Kowalkiewicz plus 350. Palastri's the upside. Good prospect. The negative side is, though, Finch, we're talking her positives over Godinez, still a loss in the fight. And her one UFC win is a split decision against Corey McKenna. But through her losses, even the first fight for her in the UFC against Knudsen, she put up a gutsy effort and made that competitive. Polastri is a gamer. Polastri, like you said, she comes forward, she throws hard shots. Will to win is there. Better striker than Kowalkiewicz. I think she's going to be the more athletic girl, physically stronger. Wrestling of Kowalkiewicz has never been sensational. I mean, she can drag girls to the ground, but it's more clinch work, trying to work trips. But I think Polastri can stand up to her and throw some hard punches. And with Kowalkiewicz, I mean, you have to consider been in the UFC forever, 2 losses in a row, 39, nearing 40 years of age, versus a 27-year-old in Brazil. I think Polastri goes out there and wins. She's a fat favorite at minus 450, but it should be one-sided. We saw Kowalkiewicz knocked out long time ago by Jessica Andrade. I wonder if Polastri could hit her with the death touch, because it is plus 900 if Polastri puts her to bed.
Plus 900? Wait. Hit me
Plus
with the line.
Money line for Polastri is minus 450. Knockout prop plus 900.
Why would they do that? What?
I could see Polastri rocking her.
Of course.
Right?
What? Is that right?
That's what the line is. Plus 900 Polastri by KO. Sub is plus 550.
Yeah, way more likely to get like a TKO or something. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, I'll like Eddie Bravo says, I'll look into it.
Hey, Eddie Finch. I like the Polastri call.
Tinfoil hat.
It makes too much sense. The first two fights were locked up on the same side. Let's keep running. Next fight. Valter Walker versus Mo Usman. The pick is big boy Valter Walker to go out there and handle. I heard somebody saying to me, oh, Valter, he said he's going to look for a knockout here. I'd be telling Usman I'm trying to knock you out too when I'm trying to submit you. Valter Walker is the king of the heel hook, bringing it back, really making it cool at heavyweight. We haven't really seen a heel hook master at heavyweight in a long time. I mean, shit, I'm thinking of the leg lock years ago, Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir, but at heavyweight, it's rare to see fighters attack the lower half with submission attempts.
Cyril Gane, the leg lock goat.
Oh, true. Cyril Gane. You're right. Cyril Gane. We almost forgot his spectacular leg locks against Francis Ngannou. He got Dontel Mays with it, though.
Yeah.
The problem with going for legs at heavyweight is one big fucking badouche, and you might be just sitting there staring up at the lights. And Mo Usman hits hard. So, you know, be wary if you're Walker. But you know what? I think Walker can take down Usman. I think Walker can out-wrestle Usman. I think Walker can wear on Usman, use his physicality and his athleticism and his skills. Valter Walker has really changed since the debut. He was fat in his UFC debut. He lost 20 pounds. He's fit. He's athletic. He's 6'6". I think that Valter Walker gets a win. I think he can get a finish as well. I think he can strike with Usman. Usman has power, but it's not like Usman is this crazy knockout puncher. Like, yeah, if he hits you clean on the face with those fucking 4X size fists, he's going to do some damage. But I think that Valter Walker could have striking success and then take his ass to the ground. I'm going to go Valter Walker to win. I think he's live for a submission too.
Two brothers fighting. Only one of them's black. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they're both brothers in the UFC. Kamaru Usman. And hope y'all appreciated that. And Johnny Walker. And I would say that, you know, as far as, you know, the fighting brothers are concerned, I mean, way more upside on Big Walker here. I mean, than Big Usman. I think the Big Walker has this, like you said, it's like a unique ability, you know, as to where you look at Usman, you're like, what really stands out? You know, he's not super elite in any area. So I would go with the leg locking ace, a guy who's got good top control too, a guy who's got pretty goddamn good ground and pound too. You know, he knows how to get people out of there. I would say that that Walker finishes this fight. Now, is he a lock to bet on type of thing? I think that there's always risk in his style. He's got one of those styles, his brother does too, where it's like high risk, high reward. You're going to go down there for those leg locks. Your head is on the canvas. If I'm coaching Mo Usman over the next couple days here, I'm saying pop those hips forward, peel that foot off, and just drop the biggest fucking shot you can down in this dude. I want you to put his jaw through his neck. That is a good strategy. Try to keep your foot flat on the canvas, keep your weight on the leg that he's attacking. There are a few things that people can do that they haven't. You know, Kennedy and Nzechukwu, much more talented than a Mo Usman, you know, much better, you know, faster striking and whatnot, but made a pretty, you know, pretty much left his leg out there to be eaten, as to where with a couple adjustments you could actually maybe make Walker pay the ultimate price, which would be getting knocked out for going for that leg lock. So is he the lock of the card? No. Is he still my pick? Absolutely. He should actually just be able to take Mo Usman down, and then it's really a wrap because his ground and pound is solid, and so is the submission game.
Valter Walker money line is fat, minus 310. Mo Usman a plus 260 dog. Now that sub line is plus 175, plus 500 though for the knockout. Valter Walker saying he's going for a KO. If he gets on top of Mo Usman, let some hammers fly, maybe he does stop him. is D-Gen, but 5-1 heavyweights. I mean, are these two gonna just slug it out and go distance? I think somebody's going to sleep, and I have to favor Valter Walker to get the win. I think he's live for a sub or a KO. I'm gonna say he finishes Mo Usman. The heel hook could definitely be something he still goes for, but he could win with ground and pound. He doesn't have to just go for heel hooks. He can take him down and beat the shit out of him, like you said, Finch. So I think we're on the right side. Valter Walker for the dubs, man.
Inside distance.
Inside distance, Valter Walker in this one. The line for that, -110. Not spectacular, but definitely likely.
I think
likely.
So. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's got this killer instinct, so I don't see that stopping here.
Next fight, we got Lucas Rocha versus Stewart Nicoll. I'm gonna pick Lucas Rocha to win, but Stewart Nicoll's a test. Stewart Nicoll's a good grappler and a notable jiu-jitsu game, like bronze medalist at purple belt world, something like that. In MMA, he's had good ground and pound, good finishes. Even in his debut, he took Jesus Aguilar down, and then Aguilar obviously, escapes the back take into the ghillie. The simple strategy for Aguilar, ghillies, close decisions, and, he finds ways. Lucas Rocha is a weird one, though. Lucas Rocha is a real striking talent, I'd say. I feel like he's good power. He's explosive with his kicks and with his punches, and his timing on his knee against Davi Bittencourt was sensational. He did get fucked up by Clayton Carpenter. But Clayton Carpenter also took Tagiru Lambekov down. So Carpenter a bit of a junkyard dog. The thing about Stewart Nicoll is, yes, the resume is good grappler that could exploit the weakness of ground skills on Lucas Rocha, and maybe he subs him too. My problem with Stewart Nicoll is level of opposition. Who has he fought? When you look at some of the guys that he's taken on paper, good record. Isia Kitano, who's now 6-2. Okay, guy seems to have potential, maybe. Dan Shield Moodley, 8-4, leading up to the fight, now 8-5. Scott Ekakalava, who's now 3-5 as a pro.
Who the fuck is that guy?
So a lot of mediocre comp. At the very other end of it, Lucas Rocha win over Davi Bittencourt, who I'd say is dangerous and currently, put some wins together. He's won, 2 fights since then. He's doing some boxing as well. Beat Severino in LFA. Decent guy, right? Another one of those LFA Brazilians that's always close to knocking on the UFC door, but doesn't get in because they take an L. He's fought some guys with notable resumes. Like, there's a factor of Lucas Rocha having a little bit more experience. Actually, fight-wise, got a lot more experience. But some of those are, the Brazilian backyard brawls where you're just fighting the cab drivers. The reason I'm going to pick Rocha, he's training with Shoot That Box. I feel like they're on fire. I feel like he's deceptively scary with power. We're in Brazil, and listen to this, Finch. Is this a red flag that Stewart Nicoll got there yesterday?
Yes.
All the way from Australia. He said, 36-hour total travel time, just gets in. I didn't like that. 30 years old versus a 25-year-old. Who's making the improvements at a faster rate? Probably the 25-year-old.
Right. I'm
going to say Lucas Rocha can pull through. Definitely Stewart Nicoll could take him down, threaten on the ground. It's like, yes, Clayton Carpenter did it to him, but does Rocha suck on the ground? I don't think so. I think that Lucas Rocha can find a way, and I'm going to pick him to beat Stewart Nicoll here.
Yeah, it's a tough call for me, man, because when I first looked at this, I was like, you know what? I was impressed by Nicoll's wrestling and takedowns, and he's got the jiu-jitsu background. He's got the competitive jiu-jitsu background. Even though he got guillotined by Jesus Aguilar, he is definitely capable of running through, his system on Rocha. But Rocha's so talented, man. Rocha, the way he sets up head kicks on the feet, his explosive ability, I think he's special. And it's in Brazil. You got the home field advantage. You got the, Shoot the Box on fire right now. I do think Rocha can find a way to get some type of impressive finish here. He's won by flying knee knockout, right? He's timed somebody dipping their head down already. Boom, running that knee up the middle. I think that makes sense here. Him setting up some type of big shots on Stewart Nicoll. So no, I don't think Nicoll is a Clayton Carpenter, and I think he's just going to get hurt on the feet. I do. I don't like his lack of, activity too, especially since he isn't the youngest guy on the roster, and especially in the position he's in, like he needs to be active. So I wonder why. You just said he got in on fight week. Red flags. So give me Rocha and another TKO.
Rocha right now is the ever so slight favorite, -130 on the lines. At open, he was actually a +160 underdog. So line is flipped. Nicoll's sitting at +110. If you like Rocha by KO, you think he can chin Stewart Nicoll, it's +195. If you like Nicoll to win by submission, that line sits at +425. Flyweight's going after it, but Rocha with power on his side, shoot the box team, 25 with potential, 17-2. I hate that Nicoll came yesterday to Brazil. Like I saw that and I'm like, that's dumb. Like you should have flown out at least 10 days. Complete change of the time that the body's got to rewire. You got to get you need some time to get used to that shit.
Yeah.
And now he's like, fuck it, let's do it. I think that's a mistake. I think that Lucas Rocha at home in Brazil is going to look good, and I think he should handle. I like the KO.
Physically and mentally, because it's like I've had that. I told you in my last fight where I'm like, fuck, I don't feel like fighting today. Why do I feel this way? If you have that going on fight night, you're like, fuck, I flew out on Tuesday. That must be it. You know what I mean? Even just for your fucking mind to get there 2 weeks early is important. So I totally believe in the Fabricio Verdum approach. He went to go challenge Cain Velasquez in Mexico City. He went out there a month early. They got grinding in that heat up in that elevation. And then, Cain flies out on fight week and gasses hard and gets his title taken. So there's something physically, of course, but there's something mentally too. I like Rocha at home here.
Let's go. Finch and I both going with Rocha. Next fight, the ladies are going after it. We have Beatriz Mesquita versus Irina Alekseeva. The pick here is not what the odds are going to tell you. I think Alekseeva is live to pull through in this one, Finch. I was torn as I was doing my predictions yesterday, and I sat and really discussed this one for like 10 plus minutes with everybody. Mesquita's striking is shit. Mesquita's striking is bad. Mesquita's striking looked awful in 2-3 fights ago. She's only been a pro MMA fighter for 1 year and 3 months. And yes, she is an elite level jiu-jitsu practitioner. But Irina Alekseeva is not just a kickboxer. She has a background of sambo and judo. And yes, Melissa Mullins able to take her down and beat her up. Melissa Mullins, though, good grappler, good MMA grappling. In this modern era, there is jiu-jitsu grappling at a very high level, and then there's grappling specifically for mixed martial arts. And there obviously is crossover, but there is a difference. Alekseeva has the power. Alekseeva has the striking. And I think that she could hurt Mesquita. She's 4 inches taller. Mesquita's not a big bantamweight. I actually was surprised that she wasn't going to cut down to 125 because I think that she could make that weight class. Now, obviously, if she gets Alekseeva's back, it's probably wraps. The jiu-jitsu's really good. But it's not like she's just buzzsawed everybody she fought in a round. Her last fight, she got a second-round submission of Sierra Dinwoody, who I hadn't heard of till watching the tape. Fight before, it was a win over Hope Chase, who was an Invicta FC prospect, 4-2. But that was a damn DQ. Hope Chase hit her with the illegal up kick from guard, and Mesquita looked like Balato going down. Granted, she had a little black eye, but she gave up and wilted. I thought that was a red flag. I'm like, okay, so what if Alekseeva catches her on the nose with a big punch? Does she go down the same? We saw it with Andre Muniz, man, and we see it with a lot of these jiu-jitsu guys. They get hit hard, they melt. I'm going to say Alekseeva puts her away. I'm going to pick Alekseeva. I hate the odds because it makes me seem like a goddamn psychopath at plus 385 for Alekseeva. She's a huge underdog.
Beautiful.
it's not so much of, oh, the betting line, value on the line. It's more of the reality. Mesquita's only been a pro fighter for a year and 3 months. And sure, she's training at a good gym. She's actually training with Claudia Saigula, who just beat Irina Alekseeva. But she's not a big bantamweight, and size is a factor. And she's not a high-level wrestler. She's a good jiu-jitsu practitioner, but they're not elite at takedowns. And I looked at her fight, a year ago in December, not even a year ago, against Fernanda Aruja. She got cracked by a stiff jab. She's having trouble getting this girl down. Girl's like 2-5 as a pro now. So she's in testy fights and prospect territory. And not that Alekseeva is necessarily a contender, but she's been fighting for years. She's been doing MMA forever. She was in Bellator at one point. I think Alekseeva can pull it off. I'm going to pick the underdog here.
Russian Ronda, she can bang, she can brawl, she fights like a dog. You know what I mean? She could bite down on her mouthpiece and make this shit a fight, as to where Mesquita, very much so just focused on the grappling, getting control of the girls, getting to their back. Now, up until this point, the one thing I would say is her takedowns have worked. Like Mesquita has not. I haven't seen Mesquita just get stuffed and start panicking. Her takedowns look solid to me. Especially at the level she's been fighting at. Understood. She's been fighting like the LFA talent, not the UFC talent. Although I saw she fought on Silva versus Sonnen on the undercard and won, and then hasn't fought in the UFC in like 4 fights. I gotta go with the jiu-jitsu ace in Brazil, but I see what you're saying. I mean, I definitely thought about it too, because Alekseeva should have the striking advantage. She's got a grit and toughness about her for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about that. She'll grind. She wants to win. She's going to be able to, throw some big bombs and get in a war with Mesquita if Mesquita's not able to get these takedowns. And her takedown defense is okay. But I think Mesquita does get the takedown. And when she does, her jiu-jitsu is nasty. She was competing on a very high level in jiu-jitsu. I mean, she was fighting like, what's her name? The blonde girl who broke her arm.
In
2019, the girl who broke her arm became the best, in the world. That's the level that Mesquita's she got her arm broken. But that's, she's competing against like the female Gordon Ryans. You know what I mean? Not quite, but you get what I'm saying. Mesquita's competing at a high level. Alekseeva is not that high level at anything. She's got there's some meat and potatoes in her game, but I don't think she'll stop an elite specialist in Mesquita. Now, is she an elite specialist at this level? We're about to find out.
I just couldn't do it, man. The striking was rough. If she gets it to the ground, I won't be surprised if she handles, but if they're standing up, Alekseeva's live to crack her with a big shot and put her out.
But she doesn't have power, right? Alekseeva doesn't have power.
She's winged some bombs. I mean,
she wings bombs, but she
wings bombs. If that bomb lands, though, you never know. Alekseeva is not a knockout hitter.
It's not a nuke.
Have 1 KO. Okay? True.
There's Francis Ngannou on this side of the room, okay? And there's Alekseeva over on this side of the room, okay?
We'll see what happens.
You'll admit. Okay, but no, your observation's on point. She throws big shots. Like Alekseeva likes to fucking whip her body into shots. If that comes to fruition, that's a massive dog for you, homie.
Let's go. We'll go Alekseeva for the upset. And we'll see what she can do against the 34-year-old jiu-jitsu prospect in Mesquita here. Next fight on the card, we got the heavyweights, Vitor Petrino versus Thomas Petersen. I like the side of my guy, Vitor Petrino. I believe that he still has some tools to, at the very least, threaten some unranked heavyweights. Big power hitter, nasty hooks, heavy low kicks, good jiu-jitsu, physical specimen. Petersen, deceptively good boxer, southpaw, definitely works some hands, some speed on him as well, good wrestler. Thomas Petersen looks like Peter Griffin, and honestly, man, kind of fights like him too with the pressure. I mean, he can mix it up. Shit.
Especially with this picture, bro. I was going to say, did he get bit by a bee? Like, what the fuck?
I think that was out of camp, maybe, that picture. I don't know. I feel like Petrino can land the punch, Finch. I think he can put him out. I think he can catch him. We saw Petersen mix it up with the hands and Gaziev flatline him. Petrino has real power. Yeah. Petrino does have the touch of death. The way he put out Modestas Bukauskas, really has aged well. Bukowski's doing real good in the light heavyweight division now. Yeah. Obviously, it's a heavyweight fight, but I think Petrino could put him away. I'm going to say Petrino can get the win. Petersen, he's one of those guys, though. Straight out of Minnesota, he doesn't give a fuck. He's coming to fight. It'd be a hell of an upset, but I believe Petrino can fight off this level of test.
Yeah, we got to go with Petrino here. I mean, Thomas Petersen, he's fucking tough. He could wrestle, but I think this ain't Dante Mays, man. Vitor Petrino has, at heavyweight, holy shit, is he bigger? They're the same size. Dude, Petrino's like an inch taller and like a couple pounds heavier than Petersen. How the fuck did that happen? He was just making 205 last year, but Petrino is massive, bro. I think that explosiveness difference, the danger on the feet is real. Now, when betting on Petrino, you have to admit Petrino misses big. Like Petrino throws big, and if he hits you, which it's easier to hit these heavyweights, let's be honest, it could be lights out. However, he also misses big, so he's out of position. So anybody with some decent hands, some decent Muay Thai, even you let him miss, throw a knee up there, throw a kick up there. There's a game plan you can follow to beat a Petrino. I don't see him cut out to be the heavyweight champ or something. But at this level, yeah, he probably does find a big shot on Thomas Petersen, and he probably can deal with the wrestling. But it might be a bit of a fight, AJ.
It might be a bit of a fight. I look forward to witnessing this violence here. I like Petrino's upside of the knockout power and timing on his shots. I like him at heavyweight. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's athletic, got a speed advantage in this one. He's got good jiu-jitsu. I feel like he can wrestle too. I think he can shine. I like Petrino at heavyweight better, honestly, man. I think this is his weight class. I like you said, though, I don't see him becoming a champ. I don't see him breaking into the top 10. But if you told me, he got a win here against Petersen and then, stuck it out and I don't know, got to fight against somebody I don't know about even top 15. Honestly, now I got to double check. Does he beat anybody in the top 15 for me? How good do I think Petrino is at heavyweight? Mick Parkin. Listen, you could catch Mick Parkin. You could take Mick Parkin down.
Sure.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, the top 15 at heavyweight's not a crazy list, bro. We're talking about the fucking retired sumo wrestler. What the fuck is his name? I'm always dunking on Tai Tuivasa. Tai Tuivasa looks huge, dude.
Is he weighing 350, you think?
He looks like prime Rick Ross sitting ringside, bro. He is massive. Holy fuck. He looks like that dude who sings that famous Hawaiian song "Over the Rainbow."
Yeah. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And you got Tai Tuivasa in the background eating. He's like,
he's fucking doing a shoe.
Yeah,
with a hot dog.
Yeah.
I know why can't I? Yo, that's where the heavyweight division's at. So, can he be top 15? It's not a huge compliment. My question is, could he be like top 3? I'm going to say no.
No. But he should pass the Petersen test, rather. Petrino should win this one. Odds for him to win are minus 310. Petersen plus 260.
I don't like
think
that.
Petrino puts him out? Petrino by KO, only plus 120, though. Not a crazy line.
About all that. I think Petrino's number one way to win would be finish, but I could see this thing going long. Again, Petersen's got a dog. He's got that dog in him, man. And I think he's going to try to wrestle. I think he's going to try to fight smart here. And, if this thing got competitive, that would not shock me. I do not like hearing that line.
Minus 180 for an over 1.5 as well.
Interesting. I guess we got to go Petrino KO, but I don't think I could write Thomas Petersen off.
No, Thomas Petersen, he's still a gamer. Petersen's tough. Petersen wins fights in the UFC. I look forward to watching. You ready for this next one?
Let's go.
I'm excited for it, man. Featured prelim. We got Jafel Filho versus Clayton Carpenter. I I prayed on it, even on stream or on video rather. I was like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, am I going to do it? I'm going with my guy, Clayton Carpenter. I like Clayton Carpenter, man. So. Savage mode USA in this hole. We got him. I think Clayton Carpenter is an absolute dog. The Tagir Ulanbekov fight was a loss, but I mean, he still brought it to Tagir. He never was fearful in the fight. He got in his face. He took him down. Like, he made it a scrap. Yes, he clearly lost. And Jafel Filho has very good jiu-jitsu, but he's not a Dagestan wrestler. And listen, that Nascimento fight has me questioning Filho just a little bit. Gave up positions. He was dominating, but then giving up positions. Nascimento, more passive on the ground than a Carpenter. Carpenter is trying to scramble and get back up to the feet, throw big shots at you, stay in your face, put the pressure on, put the pressure on, put the pressure on. And he's primed right now, right? Clayton Carpenter at 29 years of age, he's starting to come together. And I feel like with MMA Lab behind him, he's always been good. He beat Edgar Chairez on Contender Series and was dominant.
That's
inside
a big one.
The UFC. I mean, listen, man, 2 submission wins, easy work against Juan Camilo Ronderos, submission against Lucas Rocha, who we're picking on this card, and then a loss to Tagir Ulanbekov, a top 15 talent. Yeah. Filho, he's got the impressive sub of Ode Osborne, and he subbed up Daniel Barres, but Ode Osborne's weakness has always been guys that can wrestle and submit you. And the Barres fight, Filho was getting his shit rocked on the feet. I think Clayton Carpenter's the better boxer between the two. I think he's more aggressive. I think he throws with more bad intentions. I think he can put the pressure on Filho. I think his wrestling can match with Filho's wrestling. Yeah, pure jiu-jitsu. Filho might be a bit more slick or technical, but I don't think Carpenter's giving up position easy here, man. I think we got the workhorse in Carpenter to go out and bring some thunder and get a win. I'm going to go Clayton Carpenter to pull this one off. I like his chances in this spot.
Damn. It's a tough fight, man. This is the hardest fight to pick on this card for me. I'm going to give Filho just a little more credit and say he's stronger. Like, he's got like man strength. When he takes people's backs, his strangles are really nice. Filho has definitely shown me levels on the ground where I got to have some fear that Clayton Carpenter gets his back taken in this fight. But the more you play this out, it's like Clayton Carpenter has more ways to win. He could win a decision, technically kickboxing. He can win if it's a war because he's got the wrestling chops too. He's from MMA Lab, man. They're hard to hold down. They're hard to they're they could Granby roll. They could fucking hit a switch. They're just slippery. And I think Filho is going to need to control. I think what Filho needs here more than anything is to get to that back, get to a controlling position, half guard, and just kind of buckle down. This is a hard dude to do that against. He's on enemy territory. They're in Brazil. So like my slight lean towards Carpenter kind of starts going back into the, the neutral area because I'm like, man, that fucking Brazilian crowd's going to be going nuts. If the judges are swayed any which way, which way it's going to be. I think this is a very tough fight to pick, and I think the odds probably reflect it. Am I able to not pick this one? I have to fucking pick this one? Oh, fuck. Yeah, Clayton Carpenter's pretty goddamn good. Let's go USA up in this hole. Let's go, Clayton Carpenter, 27 years old. Let's see what the fuck you got, bro. Hold it down against Filho. Don't you dare let this dude take your back, because I'm going to be pissed if he takes your back, because I think that's really bad.
America.
I think Filo's going to give him a run for his money, bro. Filo's got that man strength. Let's go, Clayton.
Odds for the fight, -120 for Carpenter, +100 for Filho, -165 for the over 2.5. It's a dog fight.
Yeah, I think they go long.
I like it. I like listen.
Clayton
Carpenter. He finds a way.
Yeah.
Dog fight. He'll come out on top.
Man. Clayton's good.
I like it. Yeah, man. Listen, he could grow a lot from that Ulanbekov loss too.
Sure. Yeah, Tagir Ulanbekov is pretty goddamn world class. So, Clayton Carpenter was brought up the right way. If you go back into his amateur fights when he was a child, he was fighting, 0-1 and, It's a good wet because you kind of get your feet wet, you get used to winning, you learn a lot, and then they waited until he was a pro, right? Start him off with a couple easy pro fights, kind of trickle him in, get it more and more difficult. It was just he's been brought up the right way. So, you kind of saw him really develop a confidence and a game about him. He has his distinct style, and I think he can go into enemy territory and get it done. I think he's got a little bit of seasoning. What is he, 27? For a 27-year-old, he's actually pretty collected and intelligent, and I think he finds a way to outstrike a Filho and keep him off of him, sure.
Let's go. Win for Carpenter, the pick for Finchman and I. Let's jump to the main card. If you guys are watching and enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe it up. We got Lucas Almeida versus Michael Aswell. I'm going to go with the Brazilian. I'm going to go with Lucas Almeida to get it done against Michael Aswell. Listen, Aswell had a good debut on short notice, giving Polastri a decent fight. But you know what? Lucas Almeida does a good job with the leftovers of Polastri. He did it with Timmy Kawamba. I feel like he could do it again here. Almeida's striking is sharp. He's got that good Brazilian Muay Thai, nasty teeps up the center, power in his straight shots. Almeida has the dog in him for sure, but I will say Michael Aswell is one of those guys that, he'll take shots to land shots. He's walking you down, he's getting in your face, and he's boxing with you in range. He's the definition of a dog. I think Almeida could end up hitting him with some clean shots and lighting him up. I think Aswell is going to be relentless, so it's going to come down to what does Almeida bring for 3? Can he keep a pace up? That's the thing. Aswell's style, he probably loses the first round, but it's 2 and 3. He keeps coming. The worry about Almeida is he slows. I feel like Lucas Almeida could do well in this fight. I feel like he's got a pretty good left hook. I feel like he's got some decent power with his jab from distance. I feel like Aswell walks into a lot of shots. He's the definition of consistent pressure, but Almeida should be a little bit cleaner. It's also I'm looking at Aswell, and I'm like, okay, close fight outside of the UFC before getting signed. Lost to Bogdan Grad in a close fight, and then obviously lost to Polastri last time. Lucas Almeida is one of those cases where it's like, yeah, things have kind of went against him, but look at the fight he put on Danny Silva. He lost a close decision. And yes, Danny Silva got tuned up by Kevin Vallejos, but he went 3 full rounds. He never quit in the fight. He kept coming. Like, Lucas Almeida is not some easy guy to put away. The Filho fight happened, and it's like, oh, he's just going to get chinned every fight. Now, no, Lucas Almeida's a dog, man. I'm going to go with Almeida in a close fight with Aswell to get the hand raised, but definitely a dog fight.
I mean, yeah, they're both dogs, right? They could both dig deep. Michael Aswell, not the worst fight with Polastri. After I saw the Pat Sabatini loss, Andre Fili putting him away, I did lose a little bit of faith in our man over here, Lucas Almeida. But Lucas Almeida is a good striker. I mean, pretty clean with it. He has these. Does he have short arms, or is that just me, bro? What the fuck is this reach? Let me see this reach.
Wait, who got the short arms? Aswell?
Lucas Almeida. 5'11", but it seems like he has this short reach. The way he gets caught by some people, man. I think Michael Aswell's output is a big deal here, AJ. I do think that Michael Aswell could start getting this thing as the fight wears on. Michael Aswell can kind of dig deep with them. Like, I think he actually would do okay on the enemy territory with the Brazilian crowd. I think he'll like that type of energy. I'm going to go with Kid Texas. I see why you would go Lucas Almeida, though. It's definitely a competitive fight, and Lucas Almeida is a good striker. He used to train with Pederneiras in the team there. I don't know if he still does, but I could see this being down to the wire, pretty close decision.
I see it as back and forth too, Finch. I don't know. I like Lucas Almeida. I will say, I picked him against Danny Silva, and he gave a dog fight. He lost, but he definitely fought hard for it. And I'm like, I think Lucas Almeida could get through this kid. 25 versus 34. The problem with Almeida, I'm worried about the weight cut. I want to see the scales a lot because it was 48 last time. And if he makes weight and looks fucking emaciated here, that worries me because the gas tank could dwindle. So I want to see how he looks Friday. This is one of those fights where in the back of my mind, there is a little fear of an Almeida who comes in with a hard weight cut, makes 146, doesn't recover well, and then Aswell's pace is too much come round 3, and we have a lackluster Almeida late in the fight. But I think Friday is a tell-all. So for now, we go on Almeida. I'm going to go with the underdog, but I see why you're on the other side of it. Aswell, younger guy, surging up the ranks. He's a minus 139 favorite to Almeida at plus 119. Close odds for a reason. It's a good fight.
Yeah, it's definitely a good matchup. Takedown threat from Aswell and grit and ability to win that third round is why I'm going to lean for him, but it's probably going to come down to the wire. I would not be surprised to hear a split decision.
No, I wouldn't either, man. Fight live for a goddamn split decision. Over 2.5 is minus 162. We'll see what happens when the cage door closes, but we're on the opposite sides of this one. The first one of the night, Finch. Let's keep running. Next fight, Ricardo Ramos versus Kaan Ofli. I always think, Ramos, it's over. It's over. I'm picking him, though. I think he's going to beat Kaan Ofli's ass here at home in Brazil. Listen, Finch, you remember years ago when I was hype on Ricardo Ramos? He was my guy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I felt like he was like a Charlie O doppelganger. He was coming in rough fights, but like he's going to figure it out. Trust me. He's going to figure it out. He ain't figured it out. Goddamn. 1-3 in his last 4, and he got lucky against Kulabau. But styles make the fights. Kaan Ofli is not UFC level. Kaan Ofli is a strong pressure wrestler, but he's not an exceptional takedown artist in MMA. He's one of those guys that, like, yeah, he can get certain dudes down, beat their ass, right, at a different level, like the Ultimate Fighter house. Ricardo Ramos has good jiu-jitsu. Ricardo Ramos has sound grappling defense.
Yeah.
And Ricardo Ramos is a much more dangerous striker. Listen, yes, Chepe Mariscal put it on him, but it was 3 rounds, and Ramos never quit. Still round 3, he's trying those spinning elbows. So that tells me Ramos wants to win bad. It's not a Ramos who's mentally wilting. Listen, if Ramos had gotten TKO'd by Chepe in the first, 5 or 8 minutes, within the first round and a half, I'd be thinking something different. I'm like, all right, man, maybe you don't want it. But Ramos still seems to really want this shit. And he's a guy with way more talent than Kaan Ofli. I think that Ricardo Ramos is going to get a highlight reel in this one. I think he's going to catch him with an elbow. It might be a spinning back elbow knockout. Ricardo Ramos to put Kaan Ofli away. I'm going to predict that he can do it. He's a lot slicker on the feet. He's got more power. His jiu-jitsu should be able to match Ofli's wrestling. And I think we got a W coming for Ramos.
Here AJ is in 2025 predicting a Ramos KO spinning back elbow inside the UFC. This motherfucker's out here. I think he can get it done too, man. Look, Ofli could try to control him, and that would be his method to victory. But bro, in Brazil, everybody going fucking crazy. I feel like Ramos could find a way. And you remember early on when Ramos came to the UFC, I told you my buddy, the human backpack, Manny Vasquez, got on his back. He was going to get signed to the UFC. It was literally that fight for him where Dana White came out and sat cage side in LFA, and Manny Vasquez choked his ass out, got the tap. So he eventually finds his way, and bro, they've given him a lot of tough matchups. Yeah, the last one against Chepe. I mean, most of his competition in the UFC has been decent. We haven't seen Ofli really show us a reason why he would be UFC caliber. I think lay and pray is not enough here, man. Give me Ricardo Ramos, and he's live to get a finish. I see it.
Let's go, Finch, man. Now, the odds for the fight, Ramos is minus 181 as the favorite. Ofli plus 156 is the dog. Ramos by KO is 5-1. I think he can get the knockout here. It's been a minute since he's had that sensational win, but a KO is live. Inside distance plus 175. Submission for Ramos plus 350. Seems like, the sub side, I guess, is more expected out of him. He does have 7 sub wins with 4 KOs, but when his striking is on, it's dangerous. Kaan Ofli on the opposite side, been knocked out once. I just have a hard time seeing Ramos get an easy sub. If he does find the sub, I think it's after hurting Ofli. So I like Ramos by knockout. I think he can put Ofli away at home in Brazil. I think we have a motivated Ramos.
Motivated Ramos.
Sharp,
we got
man.
Motivated Ramos in this bitch.
Let's go.
Dude, I feel like a motivated Ramos could do some damage. His issue's been he's got talent, so he's got bits and pieces of game, but he hasn't been able to really put it together. I think finally, how old is he now?
Now he is
30. He's 30. The Kulabau split decision you didn't like, I know. But I mean, look at who's fighting: Charles Jourdain, Julian Erosa. This is quite the education in the UFC. I think he can, finally a decent matchup for him, bro. Like, hopefully, this is how if you wanted to take care of Ricardo Ramos and bring him up and get him into contention, this is how you would do it.
Let's go. Ramos by KO. I can't wait, man. I'm happy to have it. I'm excited for him. I like Ricardo Ramos, man. Watching some tape, I'm still a fan of this guy. I still believe in my guy. And Finch, man, and I both got him to win in this matchup here. Let's keep running. Next fight, the heavyweights are going after it. Mike Finch, I'm going to need you to break down the heavyweights. Join out the Diniz versus Mario Pinto. What the fuck happens between these?
These are some big motherfucking boys, all right? So I had to go back and watch Pinto's fights outside of the UFC and give this thing a look. Diniz, strong low kicks, solid lead hook, glory kickboxer. And when he's up against some of these like basic MMA fighters, he's able to just exploit their striking and either get them out of there or win a decision. With Pinto's a little bit faster than a Jonathan Diniz. He's got like lighter, faster kicks. And he's actually shown outside of the UFC. You could hate on him all you want for who he hasn't fought. He can recover. He puts himself in some situations where he's going for a finish. He gets hit with a knee. He gets hit with a shot. He gets rocked. He finds a way to come back. You might look at that in a negative way, which I understand. I'm going to look at that for the positive and say that shows me some ability to overcome adversity. I like the trials and tribulations a little bit, because when you're coming in here against Jonathan Diniz, I need to know if you get hit with that hook, are you going to turtle up and Ankalaev for us? Just fucking wait for the referee to come in, or are you gonna stay in it? And I think Pinto's gonna stay in it. He keeps his hands a little low. He relies on his athletics a little bit, but he is athletic. He's a big, fast motherfucker, and he's got, I think, better hands than Diniz and faster kicks. Diniz has that thudding whack when he comes around with that roundhouse kick, but I think Pinto is actually kind of zoned in and able to land some shots on him while he does it. I'm going to go with the more talented of the two, bro. I think Pinto can have actually a highlight reel KO here. I do.
I'm going Pinto as well, Mike Finch. I think you're right. When I look at this fight too, I think about this. If there was one of them to be more of the MMA fighter, it'd be Pinto. He has an amateur background. He's not just solely coming from kickboxing. Diniz, if he's mixed up on the feet and then Pinto times a takedown and pounds on him a little bit, I'm not shocked here. Obviously, Pinto's a striker, but it's not against the rules to shoot a damn takedown. And Diniz last fight against Elvin Hines, he wins a decision. Look a little slow and plotty in that fight. And it's like, we get hyped on these guys because of a credential of glory kickboxing. You think, oh my God, Poetan, glory kickboxing. Oh shit. But the reality is they're fighters and they all know how to strike. And with 4-ounce gloves, there's a shift in the style. I believe Mario Pinto, like you said, is the faster hands. I think that he's the more accurate boxer. And I think he's more effective with movement. Diniz, nice low kick, power left hook, comes in with the plodding Brazilian pressure. But I think that Pinto's better. Better from distance, more ways to win it. And I think that we could see Pinto handle in this one. I don't see Diniz making a run up the ranks, whereas Pinto might be a prospect to keep an eye on. He's young, man. At heavyweight, Pinto is in the infancy stage, 27. Yeah. The ceiling is so high. I'm going to pick the guy with the higher ceiling as opposed to the guy in Diniz. He's got power, but it might be overrated power, and his ground skills are not good. And Pinto could exploit those ground skills.
That's true. That's another pathway too. Yeah. Jonathan Diniz has okay takedown defense, so it might keep him upright, but maybe not, So Pinto also having that other gear to go towards, even just psychologically, knowing that this guy's bankrupt on the ground, you kind of feel like, okay, I could let stuff go a little more. And if this guy gets too froggy, I'll take him down. Like having that in the back of your head's nice. So I think Pinto can get this thing done. And like you said, the light heavyweight champ is 38. Sky's the limit for Pinto.
Pick'em MMA, thank you for 18 months of membership. Pinto looks like Ryan Spann if he smokes a blunt. It's crazy, man.
Looks like he got a little chubbier cheeks than Ryan Spann. I'll give him he's got the Kanye West cheeks where there's no definition. Yeah. It's just all body fat up in those cheeks. But the blunt I do see that.
Hey, thank you, Pick'em. The call for me, Pinto. For Finch, Pinto. The odds -110, even at a standstill right down the center. But knockout props on both sides. What's the better prop? +210 for Pinto as opposed to +155 for Diniz.
I think Pinto I just see him finding a finish in Brazil, bro. I see him finding a fucking finish in Brazil. I do.
I like it. I'm with it. Pinto for the win. Finchman and I both on it. Glad to see it. Let's get to the feature fight. Vicente Luque versus Yoel Alvarez at 170. Alvarez moving up from the lightweight division, a division where he was on fire with 3 straight impressive wins. Now takes on an aging Vicente Luque, a Luque coming off of a tough loss to Kevin Holland last time. I am picking Alvarez, but Finch, people said I'm the only one pondering it. Luque, when he's on, is still very sound technically in striking. He has a very capable ground game, and we don't know what a Yoel Alvarez at 170 looks like. He's very skinny and long at 55. I could imagine Luque having success with kicks. The problem is Vicente Luque had a legit brain bleed, and big punches from Alvarez are coming, and there's not just one. It's multi-shot combination. It's big punches in range, exploding, dangerous, not just with punches, but with his elbows, with his knees, and obviously with his grappling skills. He's got really dangerous submissions here. Good jiu-jitsu. I just have to favor the side of Alvarez to find the finish here. A prime Vicente Luque, a whole different conversation. But I do think Luque could be pretty far past the prime. The Themba Gorimbo win was nice for him.
He tricked me with that one.
But listen, you know what? The Themba Gorimbo fight was one of those weird ones, right? Where he gets him out without taking much damage, caught him early, subs him.
Yeah.
But then against Kevin Holland, he's getting banged up on the feet, then gets strangled. It's a red flag with Luque. But you know what? Looking at his losses, though, Holland, Buckley, and Jeff Neal. Those are the last 3 losses. Those guys are very capable at 170. Obviously, Holland, on paper, probably the worst of the bunch after the D-Rod loss. But I'm just saying, Vicente Luque still knows how to fight. And Alvarez hasn't fought at this weight class before.
So what do you
And
saying?
I'll go out on a whim and say it too. If Vicente Luque was to fight against a guy like Drakkar Klose right now, I think he could beat Drakkar Klose. I think he could beat Elvis Brenner. So I'm just saying, comparable matchups, I think Vicente Luque can get wins against the opposition Alvarez has won against too. Does he do it in as an explosive, crazy fashion? Maybe not. I'll pick Alvarez, but it seems like we're acting as if it's definitely the corpse of Vicente Luque and he's just getting sent to slaughter, like when Shogun was well past his prime and just looked to be frozen out there against Potieri and got knocked the fuck out after throwing some bombs. That's not what it is.
No.
I think Alvarez can win it, but he hasn't fought at 170 in the UFC yet. This is a big test. Vicente Luque is still very good, but I think Alvarez gets the hand raised.
Yeah, I don't see how I can fade Alvarez here, man. Alvarez is so explosive, so has such an ability with his striking too. He can catch you from any range, tons of power, tons of confidence he brings into the cage. Pretty calculated striker. And Vicente Luque, just not very fast. I think the speed difference is too extreme here. Vicente Luque's got a big ass head, and I think Yoel Alvarez just being on the gas pedal probably could first round him. And especially after seeing that Kevin Holland fight, bro, Kevin Holland beat his ass. Vicente Luque was just lost out there. And again, Kevin Holland is fast. And I think that Alvarez's speed, being used to the little guys will be an advantage here. I do think he gets a Vicente Luque out of there. A very tough matchup for Vicente Luque, especially in this moment in his career. I'm going to go with Yoel Alvarez. And one more thing, Vicente Luque doesn't have the type of style that can really impose size on you. He doesn't have the wrestling chops or any of the telltale, oh man, in the clinch, he's really going to be able to work Alvarez. Probably not, probably Alvarez KO.
looking towards the odds, minus 550 for Alvarez, plus 420 for Luque. Over a round and a half, plus 135. Does he survive? And then Alvarez ITD. I see Pick'em saying he's max betting it, minus 275 for that.
I think it's too risky that he gets him out of there early, brother.
Alvarez wins. I know that. That's the pick. Don't get it twisted. Alvarez is the call. You know, I feel bad for Luque's fall off, right? It's been tough.
They match him up, bro. They match him up with good guys, dude. I mean, yeah, they had Buckley on the come up, you know, Jeff Neal, Bilal became the fucking champ. You know, his only 2 wins since COVID are Dos Anjos and Temba Garimbo. You know, and even 2021, it was like Michael Chiesa and shit. You guys know how I love Michael Chiesa.
Your favorite fighter?
It's my favorite fighter. Absolutely. The balls on that guy. Joel Alvarez, KO.
Alvarez to win. The call for me. The call for the Finch, man. Let's get to the co-main event. We have Deiveson Figueiredo versus Montel Jackson, and a Figueiredo who 5 months ago blew out his knee. I looked into it. It seems like it was a minor tear as opposed to the ligaments in the knee, not like an ACL or anything like that. And I was digging into it using ChatGPT. I'm like, okay, so the timeline of recovery, is it realistic he could perform and return? And ChatGPT is claiming, oh, yeah, it's enough time. But I'm like, for a real proper, oh, well, you could have an adjusted camp earlier. You know, that's not what I want to hear. Montel Jackson is on a win streak right now. Montel Jackson has been putting it together. He's a good wrestler, striker combination. Striking is fast. Southpaw stance too. He's won 6 fights in a row. Can do it all pretty well. Deiveson Figueiredo's in a spot where, yes, he still has power, but after a knee injury like that, what's his movement going to look like?
Yeah.
5 months ago, he's bailing out of a fight and it's not that serious. I'm hard pressed to believe it's not that serious. Where's he at mentally? I got to go Montel Jackson to have his way with Deiveson Figueiredo. And I'm like fearful we have another injury of the knee, because I'm really wondering, like, Figgy style, there's a bounce to it. He darts in and out of range. How's that going to work here? How's that going to look here?
Yeah, that's a fucking great point, man, because his style is very much athletic. You know, he relies on those knees. He doesn't plot around the fucking place, you know. He's not like I don't want to dunk on anybody. Mark Kerr, I saw Smashing Machine yesterday.
I'm gonna go see it soon, bro. You like it?
We'll break it down. We'll break it down. Ryan Bader's the worst actor I've ever seen.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah, your tickets already?
No, I didn't get them yet.
All right.
I gotta pick a night to go.
Come on, you gotta go support. You're deep, bro. You gotta see the
might go
MMA
Sunday
movie
maybe
with Boss rooting in it and fucking all the fighters. Of course, you gotta go see it. I see what you're saying with the athletics. It's actually a really good point. He got his knee badly injured by Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen really put on a show there and showed his level. And we got an aging Deiveson Figueiredo. You know, it's one thing to be 37-38 at 205 or heavyweight. It's another thing to be 37-38 and be the former flyweight champ. You know, that's not good. So, and especially his style, God of War style, which he adapted, right? To his credit, he saw that there were problems defensively with his style. He was defensively irresponsible. So he went to Henry Cejudo and Captain Eric Alberison and Patricio Pitbull more than anybody. And he adjusted it. He got a wider stance. He came back. He won the title again. You know, good for him. Like, he was able to move up and win. But at this level against the Montel Quick Jackson, who's, you know, trained at the Olympic Training Center for wrestling, has been on, you know, a solid streak right now, who's a real bantamweight, I feel like, you know, you got to go with Quick Jackson here. You got to think that he's going to be able to impose the wrestling as Corey Sandhagen did and even hold it down on the feet. I got Montel Jackson in this one all day.
5-inch height advantage. Okay.
Wow.
7.5-inch reach advantage too.
Wow.
It's like there is a lot of space Deiveson Figueiredo is going to have to cover to land his power shots. Also with a knee injury, so who knows how his movement's going to look. And Montel Jackson's a southpaw, which that's tricky in itself. And he's fast with good straight shots, with good wrestling. He does it all pretty well. I think it's perfect timing for Montel Jackson to get a win over potentially a future Hall of Famer. We're going with Montel, Finch.
Wow, future Hall of Famer. Does he deserve?
You don't think Figgy's? Listen, his rivalry with Brandon Moreno's got to be Hall of Fame, so he's Hall of Fame. He's Hall of Fame. Gastelum's in the Hall of Fame, dog. I get it. It was the Adesanya fight, but he's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I understand what you're saying now. His fight was in the Hall of Fame.
They still bring you in, though. You're still a Hall of Famer if your fight's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. I don't want to disrespect Figgy, bro. I ain't trying to disrespect Figgy.
You're not doing that.
That's the squad right there. That's the squad right there. You know, I'm sure Captain Eric will be out there fucking yelling during weigh-ins and shit. Yeah. It's a solid take by you, and I definitely share it. Montel Jackson is the better wrestler here, the one who's more in his prime. He should be able to get it done, even though they're in Brazil.
Minus 310 Montel, plus 260 for Davis and Figueiredo. How does he get it done? I mean, the brain says decision, right? It's plus 110, though. All right, probably a decision, but who knows with Figgy's knees, man? But I'll say decision for Jackson.
3 rounds, because Figgy's fought a lot of 5s. Man, bro, if it depends on how he looks, right? It's really going to be helpful to see the first round, see how he's moving and all that. It's nice that he doesn't have to cut weight. I mean, that pays some dividends for sure. But man, the finish is tough, man. Yeah, I'll definitely tell you, I'm not chasing a finish. You know, Figgy's pretty hard to get out of there. I could see this thing going all 3.
What if you went savage mode, man? You go Figueiredo by sub, bro, plus 1,200. Jumps the gilly, knocks it in, finds a way.
Probably try. Yeah, he probably will try, actually.
He's going to try to jump a gilly, I think.
Yeah, I could see him trying to jump the gilly. I could see him being active off of his back. It's not insane.
Oh, I like the calls, man. Me and you lined up again. Finchman and I both going Montel Jackson for the co-main. But it's time for now the main event. If you guys are watching, hit that like button if you're enjoying it. If it's your first time on the show, hit that subscribe button. Charles Oliveira versus Mateusz Gamrot at UFC Rio. Mike Finch, give us a breakdown for this fight.
Du Bronx is in this bitch. Du Bronx was getting ready to fight a fellow striker in Jafel Fiziev, though. So you got the Brazil card. You got Charles Oliveira in the main event. Oh, fuck, they gave him a striker. This is going to be insane. Then they slide Mateusz Gamrot in, and Charles Oliveira doesn't accept it right away. Did you guys see that? Didn't necessarily accept the fight right away. A little bit of debate back and forth with the UFC. What all I can interpret from that is that he's like, oh man, you can give me a wrestler. And then, you know, they probably watched that Dan Hooker fight back. Like, maybe we could get this motherfucker, you know, but Charles Oliveira is, you know, not in his prime right now. He is 35 years old, which isn't crazy, but he's going win-loss. Now, albeit the losses have been Islam Makhachev, Arman Tsarukyan, and Ilya Topuria. But even in the Michael Chandler W, you can see that Charles Oliveira is beatable. And you got a Mateusz Gamrot, who, you know, we all saw the terrible split decision loss to Dan Hooker, which I think was deservedly so. He's like a 4-1 favorite. You know, not ignoring that, but accepting that. The Ludovic Klein comeback is very nice. He's already beaten Jafel Fiziev, although you guys know what happened with the knee injury and all that. You know, a Jalen Turner, a Dos Anjos, etc. You know, he beat Arman Tsarukyan back in 2022.
Robbery.
Say it.
Robbery.
Sure. But I mean, Arman Tsarukyan, bro, that name is tremendous, you know? I think that you got to go Mateusz Gamrot here, although I'll give this caveat. He's catchable. Like Mateusz Gamrot, I feel like when he's out there, he's got this like target on his liver. He's got like a fucking bullseye on his face. I feel like for solid strikers like Oliveira, it's just like you can go hunting on Mateusz Gamrot and find him. And historically, his issue has been he hasn't held people down really well. And so here you got a guy who's super dynamic with the jiu-jitsu, can make stuff happen, whether it's scrambled to his feet or more often than not go for the submission. Charles Oliveira finishes fights. You're going to put him in Brazil. I mean, it is a little bit wild. I must say that there is some chaos here around this fight that generally doesn't serve Mateusz Gamrot well, but just looking at the matchup and just taking everything as a, just a pure unemotional pick, I think Mateusz Gamrot should be able to solve this. I think Mateusz Gamrot should be able to get out there in Brazil on relatively short notice and beat a Charles Oliveira who has his best days behind him. I do think so. And, you look at Charles Oliveira's record, 35-11. I think 35-12 is pretty likely. When you got a guy who is as dangerous on offense, it's easy to be a fan and hype them up and be excited to see them fight. But on defense, there's a lot for Mateusz Gamrot to work through to put him in bad positions and even potentially threaten to get him out of there. Mateusz Gamrot using his wrestling and fighting smart here, getting the dub.
So initially, when the fight first was announced, I was leaning towards Mateusz, and I did the early pick. I was like, all right, I think Mateusz could get him. Thinking 3, 4, and 5, thinking the wrestling. But I've had a lot of time to really analyze this fight. And the element of finishing ability on the side of Charles Oliveira throughout the 25 minutes, with Mateusz Gamrot not offering tremendous top control, that is why I have decided to pick flip towards Charles Oliveira to get the win. And I think he potentially gets the submission. I know it's crazy sounding. Charlie O, bad loss to Topuria, but he doesn't have to deal with the death punch power here on the side of Gamrot. And I know the Michael Chandler fight wasn't great, but how motivated was he for a rematch against a guy that he destroyed? Okay. I think that we have a Charles Oliveira at home in Brazil that comes into this fight invigorated and excited to thrive. A main event spot. This isn't just some other fight night. This is the homecoming party for a guy that's been a great champion for not only the country of Brazil, but for the people around the goddamn world. Mateusz Gamrot on short notice, granted, it was less of a short notice, it was 10 days, more of a short notice rather, struggle with Jalen Turner. Mateusz over wrestles. And yes, against Ludovic Klein as well, he shored up those holes. But Ludovic Klein is nowhere near the level of Charles Oliveira, nowhere near the level of Charles Oliveira, most recent opponent, in Ilia Topuria. I think about Charles Oliveira and I imagine a Charlie O on point with precision in his strikes, a Charles Oliveira getting up from the takedowns, threatening with submission, staying active, throwing big shots on the feet. Gamrot walks into big shots on the feet, got dropped by Benny Dariush in their fight. And I think about the consequence when Oliveira lands and the possibility of a club and sub and the possibility of Oliveira out grappling Mateusz Gamrot. Yes, Gamrot's a better wrestler, but I like the grappling and the power of Oliveira and the submission threat too. I'm going to say Charles Oliveira can tame the beast. He can take out Mateusz Gamrot. I'm going Charlie O, and I think he can pull off a finish, man.
God damn, AJ. What the fuck?
Yes.
AJ flipped on us, bro. Oh, my God. AJ's gay. No, I'm just kidding. AJ, that's crazy, bro. I can't believe you just flipped on us.
I know.
Holy shit.
Mike Finch, you're going to get us canceled for saying that in 2025.
If you're gay, it's okay to be gay. There's nothing wrong with being gay. It's all right. My wife's pregnant right now with a girl. I hope she's gay. That'd be bad. A little gay MMA fighter, beating up chicks. That'd be fucking awesome.
The Mike Finch dream of a lifetime.
Honestly,
crazy.
bro, what am I going to deal with the fucking boyfriend? I got to beat somebody's ass. I'd rather,
Make it easier. You're crazy.
My daughter be like, she's hot. I'm like, you're right. God damn. Like that would be fucking way better. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Respect.
My wife's like, oh my God, in the other room. Yeah, She's
bad. Shaking her head at you.
My bad. Just
Listen,
fucking around, guys.
All jokes aside,
just busting
Charles
balls.
Oliveira, you see my argument. You see the path.
The whole chat is laughing, Haley. People appreciate my comedy, Haley. But Thank you. Yes, I think Charles Oliveira is very dangerous, AJ. And you know what? He's in Brazil. So I feel like maybe he could make some shit happen. I mean, that is, you know, when you look at the history of Mateusz Gamrot fights, I mean, we've talked about it so much, but it's worth saying, right? He over wrestles. He takes a guy down and his heart's still going like this. He just feels like I gotta fucking adjust. I gotta like, brother, wrap the legs up, triangle your legs over his ankles, and now throw left hooks to his face until he turns his stomach towards the mat. Then pin the far wrist, come up to a single hook so you have a crossbody ride, and stay there. Stay there. He hopefully can shore those things up. AJ, he's had a great team. It's not like, you know, I'm not looking at him as like a static problem, right? This is a dynamic, this is a thinking human being who can learn from his mistakes. Learn from your mistakes, you know, because I do want to see him get Charles Oliveira a little tired, you know, weigh on him a little bit, be heavy. He doesn't take a lot of stupid risks, but he is hittable, bro. Like I could see a body shot landing and Gamrot wincing a little bit. I could see it could definitely be a fight. You know, you're dealing with a slippery bar of soap in Charles Oliveira in Brazil. He'll have that adrenaline flowing through his fucking body. Yeah, I think that it's a fight for sure. I'm sticking with Gamrot, AJ. You ain't pulling me over, by Friday. I'll be like, I'm pick flipping to Charles Oliveira. But I'm thinking Gamrot gets it done with the grappling.
Let's go. Hunter Lopez, thank you for the $4.99. Y'all said then Krylov fought 3 months. Is too soon off a KO. Topuria destroyed Charlie O 3.5 months ago. I got 1K on Gamrot. Thank you for $4.99, Hunter Lopez. Difference is, though, does Charlie O want to sell it at home in Brazil? Does he want to just lay down? Nikita Krylov, listen, he's a middle-of-the-card fighter. Charles Oliveira is a future Hall of Famer, man. I'm going Charlie O, but thank you for the $4.99. I have to do it. It's the right side for me. I feel great about this pick. I feel good. I had to convince. I had to sit. I had to be convinced. And I said, violence. I'm going Oliveira.
It's Brazil. I mean, if you're going to have violence, that fucking crowd
might be a riot.
They're going to be by the main event. If they're drunk by the first prelim, you know how fucked up they're going to be by the main event? Those guys are crazy. If Mateusz Gamrot does win, he better watch out for the bottles as he's walking out of the fight. Yeah, Charles Oliveira brings chaos. And seeing that he was 35 was reassuring, actually. You know, and then seeing who the losses are too. It's fucking Ilia Topuria, you know?
Yeah.
But like, you know, do me a favor, bro. Watch that Michael Chandler fight back. Okay. And
it was mediocre. I know.
You know,
I know.
And he's up against a Mateusz Gamrot who I think is above, you know, I think Mateusz Gamrot would dominate Michael Chandler, right?
I'd probably pick him over Chandler.
You know, so yeah, styles. I say styles make fights. AJ says styles make the matchups. However you say it, it is true. Charlie Oliveira versus Mateusz Gamrot is a unique proposition. Mateusz Gamrot runs the risk of getting taken out, but I'm gonna go with him.
Odds for the fight: -104 Oliveira, -116 Gamrot. I like the side of Charlie over the W, bro.
You're a dog for that. Good for you, bro.
Oh,
grab your nuts. You know what I mean? Put them on the table, bro. Let's fucking go.
Listen, Finch, we're on opposite sides of the main event with a lot of agreements throughout the card.
Yeah.
I think we got some good calls. And I think it's time for some parlays to play.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallet and let's bet on some fierce fights.
Yeah, parlay time. I don't know who's running the fucking graphics, but we still gonna win this parlay Saturday night. Yeah. All right, listen, folks. I'm gonna do my 5 most confident, so I'll pluck one off for y'all. Okay, I was writing them down as we were going here. I'll pluck one off for y'all, and it has to be one I agree with AJ on, since we're doing the you know, the fusion. Oh my God, we got some fucking background music while I'm thinking over here. God damn, thank you, bro. Maybe some crickets and shit too. You know, while I'm fucking thinking. I think I think we both got a lock on Montel Jackson. So come on, man. We both sounded pretty confident in it.
I think Montel Jackson has a real high chance of pulling through. The other one for me is Alvarez inside distance at -275. Seems pretty damn live. As much as I don't want, it's like I have to, man. It is what it is, you know.
What the fuck is going on?
I got a gong right next to you, man.
He paid for the upgrade on the streaming platform.
Bro, they have it for your membership. If you have the membership, they give it to you now.
No way. I'm paying the bigger one where I can stream live, and I haven't even done it yet. Jesus Christ, I got to get on it. Where you can stream live on the TikTok and everything.
Yeah.
I haven't even set it up, bro. So goddamn busy.
Back on business, Finch. Listen.
Montel Jackson and
inside distance, Yoel Alvarez. Let's just fucking go for that. I was gonna do Ricardo Ramos, but I don't want to fucking do Ramos on this show. I don't know. I want to sit on it for another couple of days before I give out a Ramos, man. You know?
That was ballsy. I appreciated the Ramos. You having confidence in Ramos was refreshing.
-116 for that 2-leg savage call.
Okay.
Not crazy.
Yeah.
But it's here. Listen, give me this. Don't spoil anything too crazy from the movie because I don't know the storyline. I just know Mark Kerr. Give us your thoughts on the movie, bro. Review time.
Don't spoil anything. Okay. Ryan Bader is a terrible actor. Ryan Bader allegedly played Mark Coleman. All I saw was Ryan Bader. Okay. I did not see Mark Coleman. Mark Coleman is this confident, hyper masculine alpha male who's the center of the fucking room. He brings the energy. Even now, you saw the video of Ryan Garcia throwing body shots on Coleman. Coleman's got a shirt. It's like most badass 70-year-old in the world, brother. You know what I mean? Mark Coleman is a special. Ryan Bader didn't play Mark Coleman. Ryan Bader was just Ryan Bader, and they were calling him Mark Coleman. So
that's funny as fuck.
First of all, I love Ryan Bader. I've worked with him plenty at Bellator. He
was on this show years ago.
Yeah, he's been on the show. Sullivan Collie, his wife Daisy, they're all great. Yeah, nothing but love to them. They got that ranch out there in Chandler, Arizona. All the power to him. I'm so happy to see him in a big movie. Seeing Ryan Bader on the big screen, it was cool when he first, came up. I was like, hey man, from Bellator to my local Regal Cinema, you know what I mean? He's Cinemark. He's killing it. So I'm happy to see that. Aside from dunking on Ryan Bader, the performance from The Rock, like his ability to channel Mark Kerr is actually very good because like if you listen to, have you ever seen Smashing Machine? The documentary?
I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't watched it? The documentary. Do you even know?
No, I never saw the documentary.
Okay, there's this old documentary. Okay. It's among the best. I mean, there's Choke of Hicks and Gracie. I don't know if you could top that, but this is right up there. Smashing Machine. I saw it fucking 15 years ago, 20 years ago. When it came out, it follows Mark Kerr around in like 1999 and 2000 when he was fighting in Pride. And this movie followed the documentary. It's literally like they took the documentary and they made it into a movie. That's essentially what I saw. And it's interesting because all the interviews you'll hear, I mean, you're a huge MMA head and you didn't know. All the interviews you hear, I listened to everybody. None of them brought up the documentary, which is interesting since they literally followed it. Like you could see them remake parts of the documentary again and again. He even referenced it on when he was talking to Joe Rogan, because Joe was like, did you actually get punched when you were fighting, I'll just say it, Fujita in Pride? And he goes, we saw in the documentary how the shots were landing, and he's like, I loved the shot in the documentary because Mark Kerr's like down on the ground getting punched in the side of the head, kind of in his head. And he's like, I had to recreate it. And they really did. That was cool. Like seeing The Rock actually get punched in the fucking head by this fake Fujita.
That's cool.
So he went for it. I'll probably stop there. I have a lot of thoughts. I'll let you guys go see it. I think it's the lowest grossing movie The Rock has ever done. It was like $6 million on opening week. But he knew that. Like, if you listen to him on JRE, he said, like, this wasn't about money. This wasn't about doing another blockbuster. This was like about following through on his idea. He wanted to do some real acting, which, he's doing here. and it's a drama. It's a fucking, the story of Mark Kerr is a unique one. And I guess if you guys haven't seen the original documentary, I won't spoil it.
I want to go see it. I'm going to try to go see it this weekend.
I mean, yeah, it's anything else I say will be in the spoiler territory. Okay. I like to support, like, seeing Boss Rutan. By the way, actually, good performance. Boss Rutan can fucking act, bro.
He was in what is it? Here Comes the Boom and shit. With,
yeah,
he does good.
Best MMA movie, but like Boss Rutan can fucking act. He's good. Yeah, he's great in this. Boss Rutan playing Boss Rutan. He's literally playing himself. He was great. And he's in the original documentary. Again, it's literally I'll just send you the original documentary. I think it's a great way to do it, where you watch the original doc and watch the movie. I'll let you guys come to your own conclusions. Last thing I will say out loud is I like the original documentary better. The original documentary is incredible, and I see why The Rock was inspired by it. I do.
Okay. I appreciate the insight, Finch, man. With the movie reviews on the show. I like
you guys know me and my wife met doing acting. We love stage theater. We love movies. We used to have that fucking movie pass thing where you go see every single movie in the theaters. So, when we're talking about cinematography and stuff, we ain't just talking. Okay. All right. We got a little bit of game. Okay. I could go a little deeper, but I'd rather you see the movie. Enjoy yourself.
Let's go. Finch, appreciate you on the show as always, people. We appreciate you watching. Are you going live after this, Mike Finch?
Of course. I'm going to drop my 5 most confident picks, which I already told you one of them is Montel Quick Jackson, but that's okay. You can catch the other 4. You guys can see me, youtube.com/Mike Finch. AJ always links it up. We swept the fucking bets last week. Why weren't you in there with us? DM at Mike Finch Show on Instagram. We'll get you the link, and we'll get you over to the premium channel on Telegram. And then I've also got the free channel out there always. I will be dropping my 5 most confident picks in 15 minutes.
Let's go. Finch, man, do your thing. Love you guys. W to the Finch. Much love. We'll see you soon. Link right there. Finch, man, go check them out. If you guys haven't seen, I have Contender Series predictions up on the channel. Make sure you guys give those a watch as well. You can check it all out up now. All right? We'll talk to you soon, guys. Good night. Peace.